I agree.
And we're live.
We're live?
Yeah.
Yes. So
Hello,
good.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
welcome.
world.
The Nick Cage notion. Howdy.
It's going to be your rebrand, right?
Yeah,
Change
I
the
teased
OC
the
to the-
rebrand back in 2015, if you don't remember.
Yeah, change the OC to that instead of Sawtooth.
Oh, no way. Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the from the beginning recap.
Last
All
time,
right.
Try, unfortunately.
on Dragon Ball Z.
Well, Rai gives like a
Yeah,
ton
Rai
of
gives-
detail, so we're going to need
Yeah,
a really
Rai-
condensed version in order to get through all the 6 sessions we've done so far.
Right.
7 or...
Alrighty, so the very first
Hold on,
adventure
please.
we were on, we all woke up in an abandoned house together. We ran into Applejack while looking through Ponyville, who was having a problem with the vampire fruit bats. And so we were then employed by her to figure out what was going on. Went and explored their region of the little bit of field that they were given, and we found parasprites had invaded. We then led those parasprites through the city and almost failed very miserably. But those parasprites ended up getting contained all in our bathroom, or
My room, actually.
yeah, okay. We locked. Wait, whose room?
My room. I live in the attic now.
I wonder whatever happened to them.
It's
I think they
unfortunate.
probably just
So
ate their way
anyway,
out and killed everybody while we're gone.
After that, Sweetie Belle showed up at our door, and we found out that Diamond Dogs had ransacked the boutique. So we tracked down the Diamond Dogs, murdered one of them, convinced their kinfolk that it was actually just he had a stroke and died on the spot. And we ended up actually bringing all the Diamond Dogs into society as good, strong workers.
Instead of slaves.
Which the zebra really didn't like.
Zebra did not like that. But moving on, we then ran into Dr. Hooves, who was quite frantic because he could not find his Derpy. So
Yes.
we went exploring for Derpy, and we found her in the Everfree Forest. She had flown over a cult meeting. After the cult meeting, we started a little bit of trouble, almost killed
Yes.
a couple of characters, but we
Yes,
saved
several
Derpy, got back to Ponyville, and watched a meteor shower where we had just been interacting with the with the cult. After that, we got employed by Starlight Glimmer to get a little bit of intel on the cult. We snuck into one of their bases and found a book. I took a mental note of the book so that she could create an image of it. Then we brought that to Starlight, and she said, "Bring it to Starlight." And on our way out of Ponyville, we ran into Sugar Cube Corner. There was a big commotion where Mrs. Cake had found all of the Sugar Cube Corner pretty ransacked, and everybody, including Pinkie Pie, the kids, and Mr. Cake, were missing.
Oh no, we forgot about them.
Yeah, we completely ignored them.
We mentioned that a little bit during our talk last night.
We completely ignored them on the way to the castle.
We went to the
Yeah.
castle.
I kind of forgot about that.
Had a couple of changelings a couple of unreformed changelings, discovered them on the train to Ponyville. We Notion and I, we had an awkward encounter in the bathroom, and then my family is looking at me right now while I'm trying to explain all
Phrase that differently.
Trust us, this is real. You're not.
So we, 2 changelings in the group, disguised ourselves as unreformed changelings, infiltrated the 2 group, and left. Okay, sorry, there was Notion infiltrated with them, got off the train and was leaving with them. And Haldmeyer decided to run off, so Ballistic decided to stop him and was instantly shut down, literally.
By your boy. By a hammer.
Unconscious by a hammer in his head. And then we went along with the changelings into the castle, where we found out that the changelings were trying to bring back the Queen Chrysalis. And they had to deal with the cultists that they would help free their queen if they got their help. And the changelings then started killing and replacing the guards, the royal guards. The other group was giving Twilight all the information about the cultists that we had found, and she was looking at the book, and she said to try and find this stallion named Shadow Locke, who would probably know about it. So we got into a fight with changelings. So we ended up they discovered that something was wrong with the changelings. Like, changelings were going on. She teleported us away and said to find Shadow Locke and gave us a rough area. Okay. Then we did find Shadow Locke in that area. We
assaulted.
Haldmeyer, Skrull, who's always disguised as Haldmeyer, was now disguised as Bright Iron, as one of the royal guards.
Confused, so am I.
Yes. So then we gave the information to Shadow Locke. He said, "Give me a few days and I'll try and translate this." And so we went to Klugertown in the meantime, which was a place that... Did we find a map that had that marked on it?
You found a map in the cultist layer that had they had marked Klugertown on.
Right, so we were checking out Klugertown. We found a Abyssinian with a book of many things, or a deck of many things. Oldmeyer lost all his stuff. He got a follower.
As you do.
Trader follower.
Sometimes you just gotta.
I became a little dumber. Ballistic Zebra lost all his magical items.
I think we all got a bit dumber.
Stuff happened with that guy. Anyway, Ballistic Zebra ranted about slaves, and so a slaver in the town went like, "Hey, you want slaves? Follow me!" So we started running off after he ran off that way, and we followed, and everybody except for Notion and I, again, failed our dexterity checks and fell into one of the slavers' traps.
Changeling bros!
That was fun.
They then ran into the Abyssinian that had shouted at them to try and attract them to the trap.
Me and Ballistic ran into them.
Yeah, they got some information out of him that... Pretty much all they got out of him was where to find the entrance to the slavers' hideout.
Some of us got stabbed.
Some of us tried to stab people and missed horribly.
We went cockroach mode.
Yeah, so Notion and I went cockroach mode and decided to explore this little space that we were in. Found a room with hundreds of slaves in it, or no specific number, but a lot. We noticed a cultist talking to one of the characters that seemed to be the guy in charge.
We probably should set them free.
Notion used his... We're the Peacekeepers of Equestria, not whatever land Klugertown belongs to.
What did I use?
Rules are bound by the country you're in.
Detect thoughts is what I used.
He used detect thoughts and figured out that the cultists weren't very pleased. You know, it was kind of... The guys upstairs are kind of annoyed with how slow this is going on. And the other guy said something along the lines of, very irritated, "Gosh, but why? I get that, but why do they need 300? We assume 300 slaves."
Right.
Then looked around the room a little bit, still cockroach mode, and found the main office with a bunch of papers that all seemed very important that we couldn't read because it was in a different language.
And they looked delicious.
So Notion decided just to throw in some chaos into their mix.
It was Rye's idea, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Yes. I did it. I ate the papers.
He ate the papers.
Much to the horror of the rest of the party.
the the guy who seemed to be in charge, the Abyssinian, walked in. I tried to charm him, failed, and so he saw a cockroach on his desk was trying to charm him. Very, very, very mad already. Got even madder and started trying. He immediately ran out of the room. So everybody else, all the workers saw him burst through the door and start screaming about and those cockroaches. And everybody looked very confused, but started looking around. We escaped out the exit, which was a sewer entrance. We exited there and ran into our group, who was about to go down the sewer. Explained to them what we found, and then we returned to Shadow Locke, who at this point had finished translating the book. He gave us this information, which was about a dark alicorn who had made himself the head of an alicorn civilization, and it was not good information to hear that. So he had been sealed away by 500 alicorns.
How many was it? I don't remember the number.
You know, was it?
There were
I feel like it
13
was less than that.
casters and a number of sacrifices that weren't specified.
A lot of deaths. We sealed him away, and we believe that the cultists are trying to free him.
And they needed more sacrifices to bring him back. So we think that's what they wanted the 300 slaves for.
Right. So we headed to another place that was marked on the map, because Kluger Town and the other place. So we headed to the other place, and we found a hole in the ground. That hole ended up going into pretty much the Bee-Bag's lair. It was a giant underground castle palace. We were exploring there for a bit. The whole thing radiated with evil dark energy. Found the throne room. While we were exploring the throne room, Holdmeyer came across the throne and was examining it. He was like, "Oh, I want to sit on that." And as he was walking up to it, he realized there was a very, very, very powerful, very evil aura coming from it. So he inspected it with Arcana and found out that it was indeed cursed with a very evil curse.
Yes, a curse of exploding.
So he was going to try and touch it, and the air around it started crackling. So he was like, "That's a bad idea." So he looked around it and found out that there were scratch marks on the floor where the throne had been moved. He said, "I wonder if I can move it," and decided to try and push the throne. But before he had a chance to push the throne, Zebra thought it was a great idea I'm going to sit on it. And sat down on the throne.
He just plopped right down on it.
Pretty much instantly died.
Yep.
He was thrown across the room.
Explosion of lightning, and he was thrown across the room as a charred crisp, and he had taken over 100 points of damage.
He did.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
very
That was tragic.
The smart thing, and looked around and found a switch that caused the throne to move automatically. It then went down the staircase that it revealed into a large room with a giant crystal and lots of bones. He identified that the bones seemed to all be from alicorns, and we were like, we probably want to leave. And as we were deciding that, we all became immensely overwhelmed with the need to touch the crystal.
Yes.
After when we touched the crystal, our heads were filled with visions of war and blood and torture and awful things. And then
Now they all
a
have
picture of the
PTSD.
Pony of Shadows and another deep, even more sinister seeming, alicorn. And
So
nothing
basically,
but the
just
name.
another Tuesday.
So we left with the name in our head of Soul Tanibus.
Tenebrous.
Soul Tenebrous.
Brought this information and the pony crisp, back to Shadow Locke. He said, sounds like if it was a name he had only come by in passing his studies and attempts to erase the Shadow of Ponies from history books. and was the big bad guy. Oh, also, side note that I just remembered: as we were leaving, we saw in the distance a great number of cultists heading towards the place we had just left.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's a race against the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we are, and we're about to go into a big bad fight.
So we saw the cultists marching towards where their Dark Lord was located. Then we went home and took a nap.
Yep. And then we
Sure,
we
we
woke up
literally did.
and we gained some new people.
So,
Oh yeah.
as you guys are, I'm going to go ahead and start. But as you guys are waking up in the morning, Shadow Locke comes in and asks, "So, do you guys know another changeling?" She's here saying that someone has sent her.
I would
we're
like
gonna
to
go
go out
outside.
and see her.
Yep, I'm going out as well.
Yeah, I'm not too connected to many of the changelings, so probably a new friend for me.
Who are you? You new.
So he takes you out front where you meet. This is Argo's queue.
Argo, are you there?
I'm Argo, Argo Aliphius. I was just kind of wandering along, and now I'm here. Hi.
I see.
Nice to meet you, Argo.
So, what made you think to come here? And why join us?
See, now that's a good question.
So, like I said earlier, you were visited by their patron. You didn't know it was their patron, but Shadowy Pony in your dreams telling you to head this way at this time.
see.
I thought he had died earlier. Kind of seemed like it.
This is from farther back. This is like a planning ahead thing that he did.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
So-
So, shadowy guy's like, hey, you should go here. So, yeah. Here I
So
am.
was a shadowy guy, very eloquent.
Well, we certainly need the help. We recently lost one.
Mm-hmm.
As if to
Not all
punctuate
horse, stupidly.
what you had just said, you hear a loud thump from behind Shadow Locke's house, and the ground shakes a little.
Oh dear.
Let's
that?
check that out.
Alright, so I'm gonna go first.
As you guys come around the back of the house, there's a fairly sizable crater and scorch marks, and it's sitting in the center of the crater is a Pegasus.
Oh my.
Huh.
Oh hey, my name's Quillian, or you can call me Quill. But I was tracking my friend's location, and it just stopped here, like he was buried or something. Anyone know him? His name is Reed, Desert Reed.
Oh.
Yeah. How did you just get here? What's with the smoke and the smoke? This. How'd you get here?
Bombs.
Oh.
I see.
So he just pulled a Bakugo to get over here.
I know what that means now.
Is it a Bakugo
Did
or-
somebody say bombs? I like bombs. I like fire. Fire's nice.
Fire is pretty good.
Yeah, so
No.
let's don't worry about your friend. I'm sure he's in a good place right now.
He's dead, but
He's right
don't
He's about
mind.
6 feet under your feet
And-
right now, so
It says he's right under my feet. That's why I was
Fine.
trying. That's why I used the bomb to try and find him.
So
Probably
Nice.
the other side of the planet, like Australia or something.
probably.
No, it's what?
So
Where?
I,
here's-
whatever you do, I don't recommend you try digging.
He looks gonna freaking rip off the band-aid. Okay.
Quill,
Did you
Quill
guys-
looks just like the ground now.
Did you kill him?
He
No,
that
he
himself.
killed himself.
All right. So can I have an aside with Haldmeyer? Because like an unreformed changeling is a pretty big red flag, and all of a sudden one has just been because we ran into a bunch of those, and they were working with the cultists and trying to bring back Queen Chrysalis. So like, how can we know we can trust this person? You know?
If you're gonna have
Yeah.
a little side conversation, then have a little side conversation. You don't have
Okay.
to ask permission for that. You just have to tell
Okay.
me that you're not saying it in everybody's earshot.
All right, sure. All right, so pretty much I voiced my concerns to Haldmeyer and see what he thinks about it, because like, but on the other hand, like it's the same patron that gave us all of these other trusty companions so far.
Knew our patron.
Quote unquote trusty.
They knew our patron. Have you talked to anybody about him? Her? Luna.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Luna.
Yeah.
No, I guess we should just trust that they know what they're doing. Whoever sent us here. But you know, just sort of keep an eye out just to be safe, you know?
I will stay aware. Maybe, hey, you've got that brain probing thing, right? You've got spell. I'm forgetting the name of.
Oh, detect thoughts? Okay. Can I use detect thoughts on Argo?
Meanwhile.
Yes, you can. How she reacts to that is up to her, though.
Okay.
So
So
you're going in deep?
It's perfectly safe until you start probing deeper.
All right. Yeah. Sounds like a good idea, just to make sure her loyalties are in the right place, you know?
I will go and strike up a conversation so that we
Alright.
can take things up to a surface level.
Mention
Argo?
something about the queen.
Argo.
Yeah.
Shush, Argo.
So,
Argo.
Yeah, I was waiting for like an actual question to be asked, but
I was just making sure you were there first.
Yeah. oh yeah,
so
I'm here.
you can decide what they hear from your surface thoughts whenever they start talking to you. So when he does his spell, you can tell them what they hear, what you hear, or what they hear. Damn it! You know what I mean.
Yep.
that's Ryan's thing. Never mind. I was going to say if you had message, then you could send it to me too, but...
That's Rice thing.
I mean, I have message too, but they don't know that yet.
That's Ryan's thing. I'm going to be like, I'm going to come back to the group, try and bring you away from the group, because Yoshi's in the group, and I don't want to be near Yoshi.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Hello,
Whoa.
new person. What was your name?
So my name is Argo. Argo Alpheus.
Go Alpheus. That name. Can I talk to you?
Yeah, sure.
Like, away?
All right.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna, like... I mean, where are we located around buildings at this point? Forests and stuff like that.
There's a couple other houses around, but there's not really too terribly much. But if you literally just go around the side of the house, the rest of the party would not be able to see you.
That's what we're gonna do then.
Okay.
So...
I guess I'm trustworthy. Yay!
Yeah, there's no red flags here for you.
Just an exploding Pegasus.
Yeah, that's actually pretty normal.
So where is my friend, by the way?
He's dead.
Yeah, we jumping back to that now? Jumping back there now?
We're going to do the Namink and Argo conversation first.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
So, at this point, only 3 people who don't know. That's why I wanted to go away from this. So I see you're a changeling
Yeah.
into my normal changeling form.
So he
Very
has
cool.
eaten the crayons, so he is multicolored.
He's a pretty bug.
Oh, you look pretty cool.
Okay,
Interesting form.
just so you know, not everybody in our group knows. So I do ask you to keep this a little quiet, please.
All right.
Now, I just want to be certain here. We did run into a of changelings, unreformed changelings, whose interests were less than applicable. Acceptable? I don't know. I have a hard time with words sometimes. I want you to tell me, what are your thoughts on freeing the queen?
At this point, I cast Detect Thoughts.
I thought you had done that
Why
already.
wouldn't you have done that already?
Well, I wanted to wait for the right cue, so that the surface level thoughts would be something helpful, you know?
Okay.
Alright. So, as I go to respond, like, in my thoughts, you hear, like, a conversation between, like, different sounding voices. It's like Queen, like, Chrysalis or something? Yeah, that's probably something, right? It's like, alright, yeah, I mean, like, Chrysalis or something, right?
Yes. No, trapped in stone. Go to Equestria.
So, in the thoughts, it's like, oh yeah, that, and it's like, you just, like, hear, like, worried mumbles of, like, bad sounds. It's like, I go, yeah, she was, like, really mean to me along with the rest of the hive, so I kind of left her a while ago.
That's promising.
I mean, I've been, like, hanging out in, like, Manhattan and stuff for, like, a while. I honestly didn't even realize much had happened.
So, haven't you reformed? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm a bit of a hermit, a little bit. Like, I like, doing a bit of cool, like, readings, maybe a little bit of, like, performance stuff on the side. I honestly didn't hear about any of this yet. So, quite taken aback by, the new colorful look.
Can I join the conversation at this point?
What has Notion heard when I asked that one?
Yeah. Okay. So Sawtooth walks around the corner in his reformed changeling design, and he's like, "Hey, changeling party. Yo, what's up? You're really cool. I trust you now. Thank you."
The changeling twosome has now become a changeling threesome.
Maybe don't word it like that, but okay.
Those are certainly words that were just stated.
Please,
Here's the party.
please, God, don't say that again, please.
Oh.
It's true though,
I
isn't
agree.
it? Oh.
I'm gonna turn back.
All right, so I would like to run down the whole convoluted explanation. All right, so I had to uncloset myself as a changeling. Everyone knows now. Just mask down in front of everyone. I am a changeling. Everyone knows that, but not everyone knows about this guy. Pretty much everyone except for Archon. So try to keep that a secret for him.
Actually, I think it's Archon, Fair,
And Quillian.
and Quillian.
Oh,
Yeah,
Quillian,
doesn't
right?
know now either.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Fair doesn't know.
It is
How are you
most.
gonna explain that?
It is most important that Archon doesn't get to know. It's just
For the rest of the group, this is the point that Fair finally shows up. He comes galloping from who knows where. It's like, what did I miss?
Okay, so nice.
Forgot the from Yoshi part.
yeah, specific. We are specifically that is the one person we are specifically trying not like. If the others find out, okay, specifically not.
So, Namink, Haldmeyer, I assume you go back into your regular form before Fair shows up. Before
He's actually
Fire shows up, right?
Fair showed up to us. I don't think you guys are still behind the house.
Oh,
Unless he like
okay.
literally ran from behind the house and saw
Sure.
everything.
Okay. Yeah.
He's actually been. He's still disguised. I believe he's still disguised as Bright Iron. Don't know why though.
I think
Where
that's
does this-
actually, yeah, you did go into Bright Iron's.
Like as soon as we got back and took a nap, you turned into a bright iron. Just wake up.
All right.
Oh, you're back. Nice.
And Yoshi was still oblivious.
Yeah,
Finally awake.
exactly.
Dang it, we don't have Rai. She's not going to give assistance.
I mean, at the rate this is going, I'm going to start imposing penalties on Yoshi to try and figure this out because he's done so poorly to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not been his strong suit figuring that out.
Typically
He's
not.
Never been.
Brawn
It's never been his strong suit.
That's where we're at, and he's back to bright iron now. Turning back.
All right, I turn back into my. I think I've been doing Pegasus form. Yeah, I go back to my Pegasus form.
Okay. So, when you guys get back to rejoin the rest of the group, Shadow Locke says that it's probably a good idea if you go and see if you can gather more information about the individual that you found, this soul Tenebris, and he suggests that you attempt to find one of the few groups of people that might know anything about it, and he recommends the Pillars, the Two Sisters, or Discord, or any combination of that, because they've been around long enough that they might have heard more than he has.
I say we should try out Discord.
Are you sure about
So the
that
real
one?
question is, where is Discord?
I mean,
I think
he's in his dimension, probably listening in, waiting for the right moment to stir some trouble.
I think
For
we
all we
should
know,
look
it's
for
literally
Luna.
gonna be once we are dead. He's just gonna pop. It's just, oh yeah, by the way.
I think we should look for Luna and Celestia since we know for sure where they are.
Somebody go to sleep. Try to summon Luna.
No, she
Well,
doesn't do
the
that
thing about-
anymore.
The thing about Discord is that he kind of comes whenever someone mentions him, as if like he's always listening everywhere.
Like, say his name 3
So-
times in a mirror.
I feel like we may have already done enough to summon him here. You know?
You think it works that simply?
Yeah, you know, if only we had a clever and handsome Draconicus around here. Wait,
Wait for it.
does that work?
Feels-
Are audible.
If it was that simple, then why would he be the creature of chaos?
That's true. What's in it for him?
that is too predictable.
Yeah. So how do you summon how do you summon a being of pure chaos?
He'll just come whenever he wants. That's it.
Start singing his song, and then that halfway through the chorus, we stop singing it, so that way
Oh,
so much that he has to finish it himself.
the song is the ritual. We have to howl at the moon sleep in a summer afternoon. Okay, so I don't think we can count on finding Discord, and we don't know where the heck the Pillars are. Star Swirl could be anywhere in Equestria right now. So yeah, I think once again, Ballistic's right. We should seek out the Royal Sisters. Head up to Silver Shoals. That's out of the way though. How long would it take to get there?
For the Silver Shoals,
Yes.
by hoof from where you are, probably about a week.
How about by train?
Is there any way to get to a train to get there?
So it'll take you 2 or 3 days to get to the train, the last stop, and then it'll be about 2 days by train.
Okay, because the problem is that there's cultists marching towards their Dark Lord right now. Not to be confused with Yoshi Dark Lord. So
Yes.
we can't exactly like take our time on a road trip up to Silver Shoals. Like there has to be some faster way that we can get into contact with any of the Pillars, or there's got to be some way.
Shadow Locke does mention that he last heard from Stygian in Manhattan.
Stygian, okay.
How close is Manhattan?
Remarkably, it is somewhat closer. It'll only take you about 3 days, 2 to get to the train, and then 1 to get to Manhattan by train.
Do we have that kind of time with the cultists, or will they already be there by the time we're through? You know.
Guessing at this point that the god of our world is giving us hints.
Yeah. I just didn't think it'd be like a like a week-long trek for them. I thought they were somewhat close, but okay. If the voice in the sky
So-
says we should go to Manhattan, I think
This
we should
is
go to Manhattan.
this is a little out of character. I am going to point out that they're performing a immensely powerful magic ritual, and if I had to place it at a level, it would be a level 13 spell.
Oh my.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna take some time and a
you
lot of people.
and I'm going to say that the casters would be aware that something like this is not something that you undo in a day.
Mm.
They don't know enough about the spell to really tell you how to do it or how to undo it or even exactly what it did, but they do know it's something that's going to take a while.
Okay.
Some time.
So
Some
let's
time.
go to Manhattan, see what we can figure out. Trip to the city.
And then
anyone?
if Discord ever thinks he wants to come, then
Oh yeah. Discord could stop us along the way if he really wanted to.
Can anybody
More crickets.
want to send a tweet to John Delancey quick?
no.
Get
Have him
him to
join
come
that
in and
server.
voice Discord for us, just to
Man, if we could get that kind of notoriety,
That'd be so cool.
It'd be pretty sick.
I would pay to
Oh,
watch
wait.
my own stream.
Hey, Nameless, can I talk to Shadow Locke real quick?
Okay.
Hey, Shadow Locke, I heard that you're a descendant from Stygian. Me too. I think we're like fourth cousins 5 times removed or something like that. And can you hook a cousin up with some bombs, maybe?
Yeah, to cousin up with some bombs. What the heck?
Shadow Locke gives you this reproachful looks like you're just as annoying as the zebra.
Oh yeah, we're best friends.
That explains a lot. I'm afraid I do not have any explosives.
Oh,
Well,
man,
you're
I have
continuing on his legacy, that's for
I
sure.
have the exact meme for this. Hang on a second.
Better or worse.
So you can.
Oh man, you really don't.
You guys can go ahead and start traveling now, or if there's things that you want to do. That's funny because that's basically the face I was imagining.
Yeah, that is exactly what I thought when you said he gave a reproachful look.
Grumpy Cat works for so many things. So
Probably
you
work-
guys can go ahead and take off now, or you guys can.
I think we're just going.
Okay.
Sure, let's
Bye,
go.
Bye, cuz. Call me if you find any explosives or bombs.
I
Nukes
howl
work
at
as
the
well.
moon just to be safe, because you never know. I give it a try.
Discord pops into existence to laugh at you and then disappears. He just doesn't just nice effort. It's out of there.
The crickets are still audible.
No. It's like you
Crickets?
look up in the sky and Discord is just dropping crickets down on top of us for days and just laughing.
So let's take the next train to Manhattan.
All right,
We're gonna hit up the Big Apple
So
or the Big Orange.
to avoid another scorpion scenario, we're just going to time skip there.
Awesome.
Okay.
You are now in Manhattan.
Oh, that was fast.
All right.
All right. Nice. So we probably should have asked Shadow Locke where in Manhattan Stygian.
Dang
This
it.
is where I start laughing because I was wondering if any of you were going to bother asking that.
Oh,
And I did, and he didn't give me his phone number.
are there people
Yeah, I wonder
around?
why.
I mean, I'm from around here. Like, I know the area.
Oh, do you know if Stygian might be? Do you know where he might be?
Wait. Where to go? Where to go?
That's a good question. Would I know where Stygian is?
Or who we can ask? Is there someone around here?
So
Are there people around?
for Argo, you do know that he occasionally frequents a bookstore and will occasionally do signings of his book. He's actually released more than one now.
Oh, snap! Good for him. He actually got more than one out. But, so yeah, I pass this information on about the bookstores that I know that he tends to go to.
Sounds like a promising lead. Let's check it out.
All right, we're going.
So,
All right.
I just tweeted John Delancey. We'll see what happens.
Oh my gosh, you did not just
holy
do
shit!
that.
Wait,
Sure,
did you
let me-
seriously just?
Screenshot, please.
It literally.
Listen, if he actually does come on here, you know we have to send this to Equestria Daily.
He
would never.
What now?
It took KP like 6 years to get his attention. So
Yeah.
Did she end up getting his attention?
yeah, I think they did end up meeting or something. I'm not exactly sure. There's the whole let's go meet John Delancey big thing that
Here's the
Herb Journal.
proof.
No. You did it. You did it.
Ew. No main.
Hold on, I need
Lol.
to process this real quick. Oh, I need a drink. I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, left the chat.
So if you actually look at my OC, the reason why I said that I'm also a descendant of Stygian is because my coloring is so similar to his, and my OC is also a rider.
Oh, nice. But
I didn't even mean for that.
Like him.
Yeah, but so I didn't even mean for this to happen. But when I created him, I didn't expect it to look like. I didn't even mean it to look like Stygian. Someone just pointed it out.
Huh. Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean, as long as it's different enough. 'Cause I like Stygian's colors. It's kind of similar to my OC, like a light gray coat.
Wait for the meme.
Oh, I don't know if I'm sober enough for this right now. Okay. We're going to continue
this
on
happens a
like
lot.
this. Like that didn't just happen.
The best thing would be if he responds.
I don't know. I might actually have a panic attack if he did.
I'm gonna lose my mind. It's gonna be
Responded to say no. That would be insane.
great. Yeah.
Even if he responds like that.
If he
I don't-
responded at all.
If he responded at all, I wouldn't care if he said no.
Sentai.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, we would ditch Stygian at that point. Forget about him.
Sorry, Stygian, we're going on an adventure.
But we're
We're going
I'm
to the
see if he's at
human
the
world.
the bookstore,
Yep, we're going to the bookstore.
to sign his
We're going to sign his
Times
book.
bestseller.
So you guys you've gone through a couple different bookstores. It's starting to get late. You walk into one and Stygian's sitting at a table with a stack of books, signing a book for what looks to be the last pony in the line.
Yo, hey, great, too many greats, Grandpa. How you doing? Got any bombs?
So I'm gonna just casually go over to, what's your name again? Quillian?
Yeah, Quillian.
So I'm just gonna casually go over to Quillian. I'm just gonna say, you really are just like your friend. And I'm gonna warn you. I'm
This
not
should
shy
be-
about using this hammer. So
He's
we
not.
can it.
Okay, this should be like one of those
we-
cowboy westerns when someone says a name and the saloon empties. So let's say Soul Tenebrous.
You
and
just
see
shout-
what happens.
Soul Tenebrae,
Soul
just
Tenebrous.
don't do that.
And then it's like the saloon music stops.
Banjo music stops.
So is that what you're doing, or
Please
Yeah,
don't
I
do
just
that.
yell Soul Tenebrous just to break the ice right away.
so? Everybody looks at you funny, and Stygian asks, "Can I help you?"
Oh.
Hey, I'm your great, too many greats, Grandpa.
Yes, I heard that part. I still don't know who you are, but I heard that part.
You can
Quillian
help us.
Shove him to the side. Literally, just pushing past him, but literally like forcefully making him get out of my way. And just like, okay,
Aw.
Your descendant, Shadow Locke, told us you might be able to give us some information on an ancient being known as Sol Tenebris. Have you heard of him?
So
You can help us. You can also help all of Equestria.
his face lights up as he asks, "How is Shadow Locke? I haven't
Wait,
seen
you
him
know
in a while."
him?
Who would seem to be in good health.
A little
Did you
tired
know
after
him?
translating for 3 days straight.
Is a fairly urgent matter, though.
You know
Do you
who
know-
he is, but you don't know who your great grandson is.
Somebody put a muzzle on him.
I'm
Wondering.
basically leaning on my hammer at this point, just staring daggers.
I got
at,
it. I got a muzzle.
Haldmeyer and Bright Iron is legit saying that to him. He's legit saying, like, can somebody put a muzzle on him?
And
So-
I'm legit saying, yeah, I'll put a muzzle on him.
I think it's fair that we tell him what's going on.
Okay.
He has
In the
the
middle
most
of the
historical
bookstore,
knowledge.
which this middle of the bookstore that we do know other companies are in. We're just gonna tell them all, like, yep, the world's about to end, guys.
It's like, so,
We'll wait for the
yeah.
last one to filter out or something.
It isn't close enough to
My goodness, Sim.
closing time, and there are still quite a few people wandering around.
Would you be able to talk to us? Would you have a moment? Will you be free later?
So Stidian says, so I'm actually just finished up with my book signing, so I should be able to talk to you right now. Is it not appropriate to speak here?
Yeah, it's
Probably don't
kind
want to
of,
be talking about the end of the world.
yeah. What he said.
He gets that oh shit face and says, "Okay, I think I know a place where we can talk." So he leads you guys along to into a quieter part of Manhattan to his what you can assume is his house, and invites you all inside.
Presume since we've mentioned now the end of the world and Sol Tenebris, he probably has a decent idea of what we're gonna be telling him.
Yeah.
So
I'm just ignoring that, Cimaris. I'm not going to acknowledge it.
So he
Ah,
once everybody's inside, he closes the door. He says, "So now, please tell me exactly what you are meaning by the end of the world and what you need from me."
Do you know of Sol Tenebris's rule?
He's
He literally
looks-
just asked us.
he looks thoughtfully and asks, "From what era?"
Oh, well,
Oh shit.
It's evil one.
just in general, I guess. I mean, we barely know anything about him except that he somehow became evil and tyrannical at some
As
point.
well as that he's sealed in a great crystal under his throne, which killed one of our. Never mind. He's sealed in a great crystal, and we don't think he's going to be there for much longer.
And he has a bunch of cultists that are trying to bring him back. Besides that, we don't know anything about him.
So I'm afraid that what information you have given me is not really. There have been quite a few rulers all over the Equestria and over the ages, and Shadow Locke seems to think that I have more information than he did, but what you're telling me is not giving me anything to work with.
What about if he's a
Did they
shadow?
suddenly forget everything about the Alicorn tribe?
Yeah, there was a whole tribe that became warlike under Sol Tenebris's reign, I assume, and
Were they yaks?
they went to war with other species and stuff.
I mean, there are quite a few species that have been that way. The yaks, centaurs, the
We had
umbral
a
ponies.
vision. Had a vision of his time before he was enslaved that included fire and torture of ponies, in which he saw two notable figures, the Pony of Shadows, and this one even greater and worse seeming, we give the name of Soul Tanibris.
Oh, that's true. He was alongside with the Pony of Shadows. So,
So he's a pony.
an alicorn. Yeah, an evil alicorn.
Gotta
So-
give you props for this, Nameless. Just good job with that.
Ooh,
So
that's cool.
he pauses for a moment as he seems to think and says, "Just a moment," and walks back into a room in his house. And you hear the sound of, it sounds like an avalanche just happened in that room. And a couple seconds
What's a
later,
book in
he
this
comes
closet?
out. He comes out holding a book. It says, "So I don't have very much information because, from what I can tell from what research I did, that most of the history of that place was wiped out."
Your great grandson. Anyway,
Yeah. That's
But-
unfortunate.
From my research and from things that I learned from the Pony of Shadows, he is the elder brother of the Pony of Shadows. And though they loved each other like brothers, the Pony of Shadows feared him.
who's the what of the Pony of Shadows?
He's the elder brother of the Pony of Shadows.
Soul Tenebris is the eldest brother. Okay.
Interesting.
The Pony of Shadows really didn't give much more information than that to me. I wasn't able to find hardly anything on the Alicorn tribe. Whatever happened to them years ago, the information on them was wiped out even back when I was helping the Pillars of Equestria.
Oh, so it must have been like a long time before your era.
I can only
Okay.
assume so. I would say that those that might know more are possibly Star Swirl or the other. I can't remember the names of the other two casters, but those two.
Mistmane and
Oh, Gusty.
Mage Meadowbrook.
No, not Miss Main. Miss Main was the one that imprisoned Grogar.
Gusty
No,
was
that
No,
was
that was
Gusty
Gusty.
was the one who
and
imprisoned
Gusty isn't a pillar.
Rogar.
Mistmane was one of the unicorns.
and then Mage Meadowbrook.
Mage Meadowbrook.
Yeah, Meadowbrook was one of them. I don't remember the. Are you sure that the Pillar of Beauty was Miss Main? Because I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Pillar
sure.
of Beauty was absolutely
Yes.
Miss Man.
100%.
Then what was the name
yeah.
of the?
She has the Mist Mane.
I could have sworn that was the one. Either way, they
The only
might know
pillar
more.
I actually know about is Star Swirl. The others are just like last second. Oh, we exist.
Mhm. We're here too, guys.
Well, we knew about Mage Meadowbrook from season 6. No,
Yeah.
season 5.
Season 5.
He
Starlight mentioned her briefly.
he
and got
tells
something wrong.
he tells you guys that those might know a bit more, but you're probably better off asking an Alicorn or even Discord, because who knows how old he is.
How do we get in contact with Discord?
He gives
We don't. That's the thing.
he gives you a shrug and says, "There's really not much I can tell you about that creature."
That
Should
creature.
start being chaotic.
I mean, Notion
Brilliant.
can probably tell you that he came from Star Swirl, so.
I liked that theory.
I did too. Okay, I do still have that one the one thing. What's it called? The Vizier, that I can ask one question and get it answered.
I could be used to figure out how to summon Discord. Maybe. I don't know. That might be a waste.
You have said that every single time you propose the idea.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna use it because I want to talk to Discord here. So how would I phrase the question to make sure that I get a helpful answer? I don't want to say where is Discord, because then if it responds in another realm, well, that leaves us sort of helpless. So I want to say, how can I contact Discord?
I'm going to say, because of Discord's nature, you're not going to get a very good answer for what you're wanting from that card.
Okay. All right, so we're going to have to go to Silver Shoals then, I guess.
Yeah. Luckily, we're really close to the train now, so.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, so it'll only take about a day and a half to get there by train.
All right. Anything else we should do here before we go? Like, ask for directions.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, bud.
We should probably buy a map.
Stygian wishes you good luck on your search.
Bye, great, too many greats, Grandpa.
Thank you, good sir.
Seriously, not get a muzzle for him?
I didn't even mention bombs this time.
No, I think it's the great-grandparent thing right now.
Didn't somebody already get the muzzle, though?
Can we, before we head off, would I be able to buy a muzzle?
You can look for a shop that would sell something you could use as a muzzle.
Oh, fudge, I don't have any money.
But do we really want to use time on that? Yeah, I didn't think so. So I guess let's just head straight to Silver Shoals.
Okay. So you guys get on the train. It's a fairly short ride compared to the past couple rides you've had to go through. And you get to Silver Shoals.
Yes, now we can see Best Princess.
Which one are you talking about?
All of them.
Which one do you think I'm talking about? Lulu.
Our patron Luna.
Yeah,
Fair patron.
This would be the.
You guys do a little searching around, and it doesn't take long for you to find Celestia and Luna. They are currently arguing over a game of mini golf.
Princesses.
Oh, Tenebris.
Celestia and Luna both stop arguing and blink for a moment before turning to look at you, and almost at the same time they ask, "Where did you hear that name?"
Oh boy.
Hey, it actually worked this time.
It finally worked after 3 times.
Can we talk in a slightly more private place?
I don't see anyone around.
There are other older ponies just doing old pony things around.
We need your counsel, old princesses, and perhaps privately. That would.
They both nod and gesture for you guys to follow, and they walk off to one of the apartments. And you guys get inside, and it's rather oddly furnished. It almost looks like they tried to do the same thing that Vinyl and Octavia do with their apartment, but it kind of it started to look like that, and then it started going into each other, and at the very end of the room it's just kind of one mess.
So we happened to hear that name.
Don't let Rarity see this, please.
To be old Tenebris found an ancient stone room while we were on the trail and trying to figure out what some cultists are trying to do, and we found a secret passage into a room with a giant crystal, which gave us visions, horrible visions, and the name Soul Tenebris.
And we want to figure out what role he played in the past, because we're afraid that
Some of his loyal followers might be trying to bring him back as we speak.
We'd like to know what he did in the past so we can make sure he doesn't do that in the future.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that they're trying to bring him back.
Yeah.
So, the two sisters look at each other with this look of concern, and Celestia asks, "How long have you guys been searching for him?" And for
a couple weeks.
Yeah, one of us died on the way through, and I still am wondering who was the one to do it.
Luna
It was him.
Luna speaks this time and says, "We don't know much about him. We have few memories of our time as children, but we do remember a story that our parents used to tell us. And he was in one of them."
What was the story about?
It was the story of the fall of an Alicorn empire.
Oh. So can I just sort of so Sawtooth sort of tries to contain himself, but also nerds and geeks out and asks, "Wait a second, were you guys born Alicorns, or did you come from an Alicorn empire?" Or what?
Seriously?
This is the.
What did you mean the birth of an Alicorn is something Equestria's never seen?
And do you have any bombs?
Yeah, I'm excited.
The hammer's coming out.
Not surprised with the bomb question. I'm a little more surprised with Sawtooth here. Where'd that come from?
The question's been bothering me for a bit.
So the two sisters look at each other, slightly taken aback at the sudden bombardment with questions, and Celestia says, "It's true that Equestria has not seen the birth of an Alicorn, but that does not mean that no Alicorn was ever born."
Are they not going to question how we know about that quote?
We're going to pretend.
Wait. What about Fluffy Mane or whatever her name is?
Fluff?
You cut out.
Oh, Flurry Heart.
Yeah, Fluffy Nugget.
Fluffy Nugget.
That's what he was referring to. That's why we were talking about. She was the first natural-born Alicorn in Equestria.
So Celestia meant before Flurry.
Ah.
Yes.
Yes.
Long ago, the Alicorns. God damn it! That's actually pretty good. They tell you that long ago the Alicorns did indeed rule most of the known world. By the time they were born, though, there were very few Alicorns left. The only ones that they actually knew of were their parents and themselves.
Oh, born Alicorns confirmed.
By a person coming up with it for a D&D campaign.
Let Notion nerd out.
All right, so what happened to the civilization?
So Luna answers and says that their parents, though they asked the question many times, their parents would never give them the answer.
Gosh dang it, why do they have to be as vague as Celestia and Luna? I guess we know where that trait comes from.
You two have been alive for a very, very, very long time. Are your parents?
That's right.
They're probably what?
Your parents still alive as well? Because I presume at this point Alicorns are immortal.
So the two of them look at each other and say, "We have not seen them in thousands of years."
Oh,
my.
that's terrible. Very much terrible. Wow. Okay.
Maybe we
Well-
shouldn't try too much.
Oh.
Okay.
I guess this actually said something other than bombs. We're great.
So, so what we've determined so far is that Soul Tenebrous is the older brother of the Pony of Shadows, and likely led to the fall of the Alicorn Empire, is what I'm guessing. That's why it's dark and mysterious.
Either he killed them all, or he was such a terrible ruler that it just ran itself into the ground.
Or the last Alicorns, or the Alicorn sacrificed himself to keep him imprisoned. Because we saw a bunch of Alicorn skeletons, remember?
Wow.
That could have just been because he was a terrible ruler and he didn't have any food.
Being the evil alignment. They also saying them kind of list things to say in front of the alicorns.
So
Oh yeah.
the two sisters tell you that they may not know as that much, but they're sure that Discord might actually know more.
And you
Oh, for crying out loud!
One of
Do you
these
know
days
how
we're
to
gonna find
get
this
in
guy.
contact with him? I've tried
Please
howling
just
at the
tell
moon.
us!
You've been told that.
If it was a summer afternoon, you'd know I'd sleep in the middle of it.
You've been consistently told to talk to Discord, but no one can tell us how to find him.
Yeah,
You've known him for.
You hear another
you
voice
knew him
from
beforehand.
behind you say, "That's because you
Find
don't
who?
find me."
Oh, for crying out
I
loud!
do it easy.
Don Delancey.
Yeah, he's just you just hear boom, suck.
Do-do. Finally,
Gonna
the dog
face
Sub
finally
to you
showed
on
up.
Patreon.
Are you actually kidding? Oh, come on!
And it's not like I didn't try. I tried summoning you earlier. Why? What the heck? You made us travel across Equestria to New York City. I mean, Manhattan, and
We traveled
the
to
deal?
a different universe.
I may be able to warp reality, but I'm not omnipotent.
oh,
Are
but it's
you-
different.
Why would I be watching every random pony running around?
Because you're Discord. You don't need a reason.
True. But
Tell us about Zoltanibris already.
So,
Oh,
just a little question.
fine.
How old are you?
Good question.
It's just you should know.
he gets this like offended look on his face. He says, "You don't ask a lady of that." And at that point,
I was
he
just gonna
suddenly,
say that's what he would say.
at that point, he has hair and a woman's dress on.
Do you know of the Alicorn Saul Canabris?
Well, for one, his name is Soul Tenebrous. There's no A's.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Little song.
Potato.
He
Do you want to
was
know about it?
he was quite a nasty character. He even was part of the reason that Grogar came to power.
Oh. What would you know about him?
Oh,
No.
big-
Let's talk about Sultanibris first. He's the problem at hand, not Grogar.
Okay, fair. For now.
For now.
Was
No,
half
Shin, I just
expect-
can't with you right now.
I'm sorry.
was half expecting to see the microphone disappear off of his name when you said that.
Off of whose name?
Did you? You called me.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was that? Yeah, have I been summoned?
So
Welcome.
Discord goes ahead and tells you that, for the most part, Soul Tenebrous started out as a fairly regular alicorn for what was considered regular in that civilization. And then one day he and his brother both went out, and nobody knows where they went or what happened, but when they came back, they weren't normal.
Ooh.
They were the first recorded appearance of what was mostly called a nightmare form. He tells you you're probably more familiar with Nightmare Moon.
Oh.
Most ponies don't know, but there's also Daybreaker. He says, nodding towards a
She
Celestia.
exists? Wait, nightmare, but wait, a nightmare? Isn't she
Story
red
for
and
another
orange?
Sawtooth
And-
feigns ignorance.
And
And
how
he-
would we know about her since she was in a dream sequence?
He said most ponies would not know. But if you
Yeah.
don't
Okay,
already know that Daybreaker does also show up in comics in alternate universes.
That is the case, yes.
Okay.
And
Also,
Discord
Nightmare
is-
Rarity. That was a thing.
that was a thing. But we're ignoring that because that was a residual magic left over from Nightmare Moon. It was technically Nightmare Moon trying to be Nightmare Moon through Rarity.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But he goes on to explain that shortly after they started the two of them now, because Sol Tenebris was not his original name. Nobody actually remembers his original name anymore.
It
But
was Stan.
Sol Tenebris and the now named Pony of Shadows started organizing the village that they had been living in into a small army, which quickly grew in size. And the two of them were preaching essentially that the nightmare form is the true form of an alicorn. And
That's spooky.
I'm sorry. That's pretty.
Write that down. Write that down.
Literally.
And
That's getting pinned.
it wasn't long before him and what became known as his Nightmare Army conquered the entirety of the known world, including the centaurs, the yaks, far-reaching points of the world that modern Equestria doesn't even know exists anymore. And he sat on the throne where the Pony of Shadows hid during the time when he was released from Limbo. And it wasn't until a group of alicorns formed a resistance that set off a civil war that almost entirely wiped out the alicorns. The remaining alicorns came together and sealed away Sol Tenebris, and the Pony of Shadows fled. Shortly after, they got in contact with Grogar, who had already begun experimenting with creating creatures, and had him help them to essentially split the majority of them in order to make sure that the magic would not be abused in such a way again.
So
they
I just have
would-
to ask. I just have to ask this. So you mentioned a civil war. Was there a soldier and a pony in an iron suit?
Oh no.
No.
Are you trying to insinuate Fallout Equestria in this?
No,
Uh,
no.
Captain
He's
America's
trying
Civil
to.
War.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh. No, there wasn't.
An actual, like, large-scale Alicorn Civil War that brought down the entire civilization.
It was
Wow.
then that during that split that Grogar not only split the Alicorns into the 3 pony tribes, but also collected an enormous amount of the magic for himself.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Oh, jeez, Now Notion is gonna have a new theory video about Grogar soon.
And when that happened, they lost most of the memories of those events, and Grogar, at their behest, had destroyed most of the recorded history for it. It was then that he decided to create his own empire and start manufacturing monsters. And shortly after the remains of the Alicorns spread out and became the pony tribes that we know today.
So basically, the story of Prometheus.
Not familiar with that.
The story of Prometheus bringing fire from the gods down to humanity.
He also was one who created humans, and he created them as a whole with four arms.
So the humans rose up and threw down Grogar and trapped him in the stars.
Yo. Yep. Oh, okay. So the humans with like 8 legs and stuff, and then they were split apart, and then that's why soulmates exist. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I have heard that one.
But that's all he seems to be willing to give you.
Really? Oh. Are you actually kidding me? Discord, I know you're chaotic and stuff, but this is the fate of the world at stake here. Fluttershy could die.
Well,
he did not just say that.
Oh, wow. That's manipulative, dude.
So he perks up at this kind of you didn't just say that reaction.
Yeah.
And says, and just what do you expect of me?
We don't expect much of you, but all we expect is a little more information. If you don't know anything else, that's fine. But if you know something, tell us. We're trying to save everyone here.
I would like to know how we can about this spell to bring him back. All the sacrifices necessary. Is there some way we can prevent it? Or if we did, like, does this guy have a big weakness that we could use? Do you know anything? Like, say he was back and he was about to, I don't know, punch Fluttershy. What would you do, Discord?
Well, I would teleport us both away.
Well, yeah, but he's still an existential threat for the entire land. How would you deal with him?
All
the pony kind away.
Okay.
Pony kind away.
Okay, Discord. My friend died for this cause. How would you feel if Fluttershy died for a cause and she couldn't finish it?
That is true.
So if you can help us, please. We want to help save everyone.
How can we stop him?
I mean, I was not one of the ones privy to the casting of the spell that trapped him. All I know is that he was a terror in his time.
Alright. So he's bad. Stop him?
He wiped out entire races before. You ever wondered why there are not very many Draconiquus?
Oh, no.
Oh, you went there.
That's a big oof.
You took a stance on the Discord question. Wow, okay. So that's all you know about him. Thank you, good sir.
You have reason for us to stop. Would you be willing to help?
I've done enough from here. I have other things to attend to.
Alright, Discord, you've helped.
Just some other things that are more important than saving Equestria, you know.
He's just aggressively asking theory questions.
He is almost omnipotent, being formed out of chaos itself. You expect that he doesn't have more important things to do?
He might literally have to be around in order to create the chaos he's all about.
He's gonna switch universes and terrorize the Enterprise D for a while.
I mean, why do you think
how did you know?
After Discord came around, things happened a lot more chaotically? Like with the villains and stuff. Before that, only one villain ever came around.
Yeah, he was guiding, pretty much guiding, puppeteering everyone.
Or maybe not
And I'm not a
guiding
fan
them,
of puppeteers.
or maybe not guiding them, but since his presence was around, he was just he didn't mean to create, but he did.
Oh, interesting.
It's
Okay.
like when he was eating the seeds that grew into the other three forests, he's just like eating them and tossing them around randomly, and then he's like, "Oh, that happened."
Oh, he was trying to plant the plunder seeds to kidnap the princesses and kill the tree. That's what he was trying to
and
do.
then
It just
grew a
took
forest.
1,000 years. Over that.
He never seems to plan for the elements of harmony for some reason.
He just forgets about him.
I think he
They're
actually
gone now, so he
did a
doesn't
lot
have
of
to.
long-term planning. Are you our patron? Oh, that's Luna. Luna, you're our patron, right?
Oh yeah. So there's this shadowy figure that actually put us together as a team, and we can never identify him. But he's sort of like he's kind of tallish.
Oh yeah, it's Luna. Luna, it's you, right?
Wait, he's shadowy. He's
Yeah.
a male, and he seems to be an alicorn. And this isn't something you guys heard, but earlier today, Nameless was talking about how he's not from our time.
Hmm.
So Luna looks at Haldmeyer as like, "This is the first time I have ever met you."
Are you just gonna ignore what I said?
No, I heard you.
No, yeah, I'm processing it.
But
Wow.
it's not information that you can use right now.
I know, but still, I was just thinking about that, and like a whole bunch of puzzle pieces just clicked together.
Okay.
500 IQ, our patron is the villain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was.
I am going to say it
Yeah.
is not the Pony of Shadows, and it is not Soul Tenebris.
Dang it.
I'm going to hit off those theories before you start trying to figure out a way to try and kill him.
It's just going towards you to just murder the patron.
If we happen to run into Star Swirl, I would like to ask him where the Pony of Shadows was sent. Because he was sent somewhere.
He was sent back to Limbo.
Back to Limbo?
Yeah,
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
tossed into just nothing.
yeah. So
Okay.
We lost the zebra.
Oh, that just must have been a detail I missed. Okay, that's interesting.
yeah,
We got the zebra back.
you guys do realize that the reason I sent you the picture I did for the last session was because you were in the place where they banished the Pony of Shadows, correct?
Yeah. I remember that.
I figured that out.
Okay. Yeah.
It made
But
sense.
They
It was the Hall of
They-
it was the Hall of Shadows.
they
Wow.
banished him back to Limbo after pulling Stygian out.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why I missed that. I guess. Oh, I'd have to go back to the part where they're planning strategy with Starlight, and she's like, maybe this isn't a good idea, and they all sort of. I'll have to rewatch that scene.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So like, they could be brought back just like they brought the pillars back. So it doesn't really. I hope that the cultists don't end up bringing back the Pony of Shadows. Though, does the Pony of Shadows need a someone to possess, like some sort of vessel, like the Stygian? I don't know. That's what's curious. Is it a mantle that's passed down, like from person to person? Because like, how
I'm
can
going
you
to say that the Pony of Shadows is its own entity because when Stygian was pulled out, it still held its form.
Yeah, and in the castle episode, it was there.
Well, at that point, he still was melded with
I know.
Stygian.
I know, but it's possible that a bit of him was still around.
Interesting.
Maybe he was the one who let Nightmare Moon out, like gave her the final push.
Well,
Since
okay.
I'm going to say probably not due to the fact that the majority, even if there were pieces of him still in the world of Equestria, the majority of his power was locked in limbo with the pillars.
Right. Yeah, that's what I would say. That makes sense.
Okay,
seems
I'm
to be
sorry. I'm sorry for
disconnected
keep
from-
theorizing during all of this.
I think we've all just sort of gone into the deep end over here. But that is interesting. The connection between nightmare forms and a potential connection between Nightmare Moon and the Pony of Shadows, even though aesthetically they're totally different. They don't have similar forms in the slightest.
I mean, who's to say that every alicorn nightmare form looks the same?
Right. That's true.
Got it.
Daybreaker certainly looked
Or
different.
patron. Is
I mean, there.
You
Some of them
just
are.
kinda
Whatever you
so much
said-
fun.
Whatever you said, Namik, your mic ate. So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
say that again.
or patron. Stalicorn shining armor.
Oh no! But what happened to him?
Oh
Poor
no, he
Shiny.
got taller.
Okay, because he's now.
Alicorns do that?
Who was it that said?
How many years did it take
Starlight,
both of the alicorns that were made alicorns to get alicorn height?
True.
Tall.
That's probably why they didn't show Cadence, because they would have had to answer like a bunch of questions, like, okay, how tall should we make her? All these years later.
Honestly, she should have just
Basically
been the
the
same
same-
height as Celestia, Luna, and Tall Twilight.
Tall light. Confirm.
All right. Back to the task at hand.
Yes.
Right, so where were we?
What can we do with this information to stop the horde that is marching toward their dark lord? I wish I could say that was intentional, but it just sort of happened. Like, I mean, if they're gonna do their sacrifice, like, all I can think to do is to stop them. But like, can we use the information we just learned to, I don't know, get our foot in the door and
What's a foot?
get our hoof in there? Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't know, cause like, what can we really do with that? Because the backstory is really great, but like, how does it help us? Does anyone have any ideas?
So, it's a crazy powerful spell to release him. It's probably even more powerful, which means if we fought him now...
I will point out that the way I do failed spells, especially spells of that kind of level, is if it fails and you haven't fully casted the spell, it makes a big kaboom.
I've got an idea, guys.
Uh-oh.
I am also
We're
going
gonna
to point.
sabotage it.
I am going to point out that if you are within any distance, just about of that kaboom, you probably will not survive.
Wait a second. Are you saying that him coming back is inevitable? We should just accept it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you decide to interrupt the spell mid-cast, you're probably going to die. It will interrupt the spell, but there won't be anybody around it alive for a while.
So if we get there and they're starting the spell, then that's it. We just have to wait for him to come back and then see what we can do from there. Wait for Soul
Or
Burger.
we can just interrupt the spell and all go
Got
down
it.
the ship.
Just sacrifice
Some of us
ourselves to
will
the mission.
stay behind, and some of us will, like, try and run to at least let some of them survive.
What I'm saying is all of the energy has to go somewhere. And normally poorly finished spells, like half-finished spells or poorly done spells of that kind of magnitude will also unleash what is called a spell storm. Which essentially is like having Discord just suddenly explode all of his chaos energy everywhere.
Oh,
Is it possible
In
for
a much
someone
more
to
violent
absorb?
manner than what you see in the show.
so is Discord still there, or has he left at this point?
Oh, he's already left.
Okay,
He had more
like,
important things to deal with.
if we could get him on our side, he could send the spellcasters to an alternate dimension which would probably make the spell fail and cause an explosion in the alternate dimension.
Who says the spell would transfer?
Listen, we
Man,
know you
that's-
dislike Equestria girls, but damn.
What if I used banishment?
I'm going to say that is one of the smartest things that Ballistic has pointed out for you guys so far.
It's
Wait,
true.
what did he say?
No offense, Ballistic, but that is entirely something that just moving the caster does not mean the spell will be moved as well. Especially since you have a physical object that this spell is focused on.
If we move them both?
All of the inner... Are you going to try to move an ancient spell that has lasted thousands of years?
Fuck it. No. No.
Yeah, I see the dilemma. So we can't just
I think we Gimli style it, just and bash it with your axe.
Or in my case, with the hammer.
Exactly.
So it would have been interesting to see what would happen if Archon threw his hammer at the crystal. To see,
I lose my hammer.
yeah,
Probably die
Shatter
because
open like
you can't really throw a hammer properly.
yeah, shatter open like hella.
So, what are you guys going to do? Do you have a decision on what you might think you want to do?
I vote we don't disrupt the spell.
I'm going to
But we
point.
probably get there before the spell starts.
Yeah, like
Oh, I don't have to say
If it-
anything now. I was going to point out that the spell probably has not started by now,
yeah.
but somebody already thought that far ahead.
okay.
So maybe we should
I was
start
just saying, like,
getting
I was just
there.
saying, like,
and try to prevent the spell, but like, okay,
It's not a problem if the spell doesn't get cast.
That's true.
but how do
I'm
we
thinking
a whole horde
cultist
of
sandwich.
cultists? Yeah, how do we keep all the cultists from casting the spell? We can't just take them
I'm
all
going
down.
to
These are-
say that you saw quite a few. I did not say there was a horde or there was hundreds of thousands, or you guys have been inflating the number wildly at random and then deflating it and then reinflating it.
Plus,
Okay.
how do we know
This balloon
that?
is
Like,
getting stretched out at this point.
Just
plus,
start
how
by
do we know?
getting there.
Yeah. Plus, how do we know that if they don't have everybody that they have there, they can just cast a spell anyways? So I think I agree with Mimic. Let's get there.
Start by getting there.
let's try and
agreed.
stop it before it happens.
Yeah, let's get back on the train and discuss on the way so we don't lose any time.
Okay. So, as you guys are leaving the retirement home and headed towards the train, you see several flyers blowing around.
I grab one out of the air and investigate it.
So, you see an advertisement for a circus. One you've never heard of, which is not that far of a stretch of an imagination to think that there's something in Equestria you haven't heard of, but the circus has a fairly strange location. It's in a town not far from where you met Shadow Locke.
This kind of like the circus in Best of Loathing.
In the what?
See, Best of Loathing.
That is so out of nowhere.
I
This
have
is,
no idea what
very-
you were talking about.
It's a game. It's like
Yeah,
a
there's
super,
a game.
super cute little line art game, and there's a circus of clowns that are all like super crazy evil clowns.
Fun.
So the circus is more cover up than an actual circus.
Yeah, that's what I think this is, because like I feel like a circus is a good front to get a bunch of slaves, a bunch of sacrifices in one area. And it's close to the town.
Quillian, I have an idea.
Yeah?
See, your buddy really liked slaves.
Yes, I know. We met at a Slaves and Bombs convention.
That explains so much.
Oh,
What a coincidence.
we're thinking these circus ponies are trying to collect slaves. Maybe you could do something in honor of your dead friend.
Yeah? Like, blow them all up?
Become a slave.
Actually,
If you need fire, I can help.
The pyro
Fire makes bombs explode easily.
the pyromaniac chimes in as the explosive enthusiast asks if he can blow things up.
We have a lot of destructive people on our team here. All right.
Yes.
Here's another thought. There's a bunch of flyers, which means they're trying to gather a large crowd. What if they're outsourcing, and instead of just using slaves from Klugertown, they're also trying to get sacrifices from all over Equestria?
They're talking about a lot of slaves here. I mean, that's a pretty powerful bell.
Okay, yeah.
I think
but
it was
took me-
better that Reed died before this happened.
It took, yes, absolutely. It took most of the alicorns to seal him away, and there's like 5 alicorns right now. So it's not like they can bring him back with like just a bunch of low level magic ponies. They're gonna need a lot of sacrifices. So it makes sense that they might have all these flyers to try to get as many as they can. I think we should investigate who's at the center of the circus. Since it's on the way, might as well.
Mm-hmm. What the heck is this here?
What do you guys think?
Hang on a second.
What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments.
Special
What
thanks
was
to-
that?
That's his new outro.
I don't even know.
Have you done a bro hoof in a while?
Yeah, I still end the videos with those, and even after the rebrand, I plan to.
Nice.
Very nice.
So I guess we can take a train back to the south.
Where is the... It's just off of Klugertown, you said?
It's
In the same area as Shadow Locke, the same close town.
Yep.
Suppose we can stop by.
And that's not far from where they were gathering either, so it's literally exactly where we need to go.
If we can disrupt, if my hunch is right, and this has to do with the sacrifices, and then we can disrupt the plot to gather sacrifices, we can, if not cancel, at least postpone the spell a little longer.
Yeah, if we can at least slow them down, we'll have done enough that we can come up with a better plan.
Yeah. So let's definitely check out the circus place.
Okay. So we're gonna skip the train ride because who cares about boring traveling?
We're
Darth
peanut butter
Sailor
crackers.
is screaming
Oh,
in the background.
We don't have Darth to give us peanut butter crackers anyway, so might as well skip it.
So
Yeah.
you guys get to just outside of the town that the advertisement is in, and you see the town, and then you see the circus, and at first you thought you saw the circus, and then you saw the town because the circus is absolutely enormous.
Wow.
Eesh.
And you had noticed it on the train ride. There were quite a few people that seemed extremely interested about the circus. There had been quite a few people that had been talking about it and seemed really interested in going, like abnormally so.
The,
Oh,
Sawtooth and Argo. Gonna do some overt ops?
Sure.
Like he just said that in front of everybody?
Why,
I mean,
why are you
have
asking
you ever
them?
watched a movie?
to
Have you
have
ever watched
covert
a
ops?
movie, or have you ever heard of have you ever watched movies or shows? Because like they say really, really suspicious stuff in front of everybody, and no one bats an eye ever.
Or they whisper
yeah.
super loudly to where you're sure the person next to him would hear, but they don't. Wait,
yeah, I know.
Royal Guard dude.
Ironheart. Ironheart.
There's Bright Iron.
Fist.
Bright
Bright
Iron. What do you have in mind?
Well, I'm just saying you two are both changelings. I mean, the circus, there's got to be clowns or something. You can just disguise yourselves as somebody that looks like they're important in their jobs and
I'm already a clown.
go backstage.
I guess that'd be less suspicious if there are some clowns in our midst.
You could always try your Soul Tanibris approach.
So
10 upwards. 10.
See, 1 out of 3 times it works.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I think that would be a very bad idea. So I think that's a good idea. I say I should become a clown. I should say that I want to join the circus and see what happens.
Any more of a clown than you already are?
I was waiting for it. Thank you. Okay.
Walk right into that one.
RIP motion.
You're welcome. I try.
Yeah. That's not really much of a disguise. All of a sudden I'm wearing makeup, a big red nose, and a rainbow wig.
Wait, and I gasp in shock because I didn't know that you were changeling.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The cat was out of the bag for everyone else, so I don't even try to hide it anymore around this group.
Yeah.
So now you know, Pegasus dude. I'm sorry, what's your name again?
Quillian is his name.
Quillian Inksplat at your service.
I just
How
call
many
him.
times is this gonna happen?
That's true.
Fair.
Gonna happen a lot.
Well, now you know, Quillian Inksplat.
That's your name now, by the way. Bomb guy.
Bomb dude.
You're welcome.
Bomber man.
Bomber boy.
Boomer.
Okay,
Yeah.
Bomber.
Okay.
Okay, boomer.
You guys all get to the entrance of the circus, and right now the gates are closed because they have fancy gates attached to the cloth walls. Who knows why they needed the fancy gates, but they have them.
Shall we make fair, man?
There's also
They're locked.
I'm getting an idea. Cloth is pretty flammable.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Oh no. Okay, well, hold up. We don't know that this is connected yet. We don't want to assume and just set the place on fire if it is a long-meeting circuit.
I
Just-
mean,
apparently
easier
it'll
to
work
ask
it out 'cause I'm
forgiveness
not
than
here,
ask
so people-
permission, right?
There's also a wooden stand out in front of the. It looks like somewhere meant to be like a speaking platform of some sort. There's nothing on
There's
it.
nobody there.
too.
And there's also a large crowd of ponies and other races all standing around waiting for the gates to open.
Are there any guards to the place or anyone that looks like they're in charge?
You can hear people on the other side over the sound of like the general crowd, but nobody on the outside seems to be in view.
The gate?
Okay, are there any the wall between us, is there a crack that, say, a cockroach could crawl beneath?
Say a very brown cockroach could slide through.
Yes.
I mean, for the most part, it looks like they used one giant piece of fabric.
I could always tear a hole in it
I mean,
with,
if
you know,
anybody
my
changes
talons.
their mind,
Vermiclaws.
I still got some tricks
Can't
up
hear
my
you at all,
sleeve.
fair.
No.
There's literally always me just tearing the thing open because I have claws.
So as you guys
And
were trying
Oh,
to...
but that's not as fun.
Hey! As you guys were trying to decide on what to do, there's a puff of... There was an explosive puff of smoke above the wooden platform, and all of a sudden there's an Abyssinian standing on it. The Abyssinian doesn't look familiar. You haven't seen him before, and his fur, unlike most of them, which seem to stay around a sort of muddy brown color, his is so ashy gray, dark ashy gray, that it's almost black.
Ooh.
He's wearing a ridiculously lavish-looking coat and a top hat that gives him an extra foot in height.
So, did this guy rob Capper or something?
He is also holding a fancy-looking walking cane and bows and says, "Good evening, ladies, or good evening, mares and stallions, fillies and yes, fillies and gentle colts of all ages. I
Why is
welcome you
it
to
fillies like little girls and then gentle colts?
Why people in life say guys and girls. Young girls typically refers to younger. Like, it's the same type of argument.
Eventually,
Yeah,
what I was
it's
essentially
arbitrary.
saying with that is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It was what
Yeah.
I was trying to go for, but
Everyone pay attention.
But back to what I was saying. He bows and says, "Welcome to our humble circus. The show will be starting shortly, but for now, feel free to peruse our goods, and to partake in our games, and enjoy our what's the word I'm looking for? Concessions." And with that, he vanishes in another puff of smoke, and the gates swing wide open. They're being pushed by a pair of minotaurs as they open.
Okay.
I'm getting heavy circus gothica vibes.
Let's go in and see what all the hype is about.
Might be an Abyssinian clown.
What's that?
And telling Notion that you might need to be an Abyssinian clown.
Oh yeah, or maybe I shouldn't be a clown at all, because it seems like we're taking a different direction now. Instead of infiltration, we're gonna just sort of see what's going on in there. All right, so I'll go back to my Pegasus form.
Maybe you're just a very enthusiastic circus goer.
Oh man. Okay, that's true. Can flyers just like pass the crowd and go in?
For the most part, everybody's just kind of shoving their way in.
All right,
There's no organization to getting in. You just go in.
Let's do that.
We're going.
So when you get inside, there's quite a few different things going on. There's fun houses, there's rides, there's concession stands with food, games, and in the center of it all is a massive big top tent. So what
Let's
do?
in the tent.
I did not hear what he said.
Yeah.
Let's in the tent.
Okay. Is that what everybody's doing? You are
What do you guys
free
think?
to do as you wish. If you want to go look at games and fun houses and whatnot, you can do that. If you want to go food, you can do that. If you just want to
Don't
sit
have
around
any
and
money.
wait for the show,
I'm probably gonna go with Notion.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with Notion.
Same.
I don't have any money, so I'm gonna go with Notion.
I want to
Oh, yeah.
look around for bomb sellers.
Why
All right.
would somebody be selling bombs in a
I'm
corner?
kidding. I'm
And-
kidding. I'm kidding.
Who
I'm
knows?
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go with Notion and stuff. My character isn't all about bombs like Reed was about slaves.
Okay,
I
that's
don't-
super cool.
Done a
could've
good
fooled
job
he has
convincing
one
us
other
of
obsession. We just haven't found it yet. Fair, what are you doing?
Fine.
That sounded like a goose honking for some reason. What did you say?
Fine.
Oh,
Am I the
okay.
only one who can't hear him?
I can't hear him.
I can't
Yeah,
hear
I'm
him
having
either.
trouble hearing some people.
I have him turned all the way up so I can hear him.
My volume is all the
Oh,
way
it's
up
the
on
volume thing?
everybody.
Okay, let me fix the volume. Oh yeah, my volume's all the way up for fair. I don't hear him.
I heard him, so.
Sorry, fair. I'm not ignoring you. I promise.
Yeah.
Most of what he's been saying right now, though, has been burning down the circus.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. If we find out that there's something sour going on here, then we'll see about burning down the circus. All right.
So
You'll
you
get
guys
your
are
chance.
you guys are wanting to go into the big top now.
Yes.
Yep.
So you guys find the opening to the tent, and there's people going in and out of all different races. There are even ponies going in and out. You can't tell though what exactly they're doing, but they're going in and out. Some of them are carrying things. Others are leading beasts into their. You see someone gingerly leading a chimera and a manticore.
Okay.
These things are both sentient.
The
Terrific.
Let's follow them.
The chimera was more sentient than the manticore. The chimera actually showed sapience. The manticore showed only an animal level of intelligence.
Yeah, I was just talking about the chimera.
Oh, that was so bizarre. How it actually talked in the one episode.
Yeah, that was whack.
What's funny is I think mythological manticores are actually supposed to be able to talk.
I was like here trying to have
Oh, okay.
less people on the Wi-Fi for a little bit.
I
heard
Fair talking.
I heard him there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He suddenly got. It sounds like he put his mic down and walked across the room.
Yeah.
Who?
You. I like how quiet it got all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was about to ask for a die. I don't know why, but for a second I like looked over and I was about to say, "Hey, does anyone have a die I can borrow?"
Sure.
And I'm just like, wait.
Hang on a second.
Yeah,
Oh,
as
yeah,
much as I would love
ballistic.
to be able to, we can't do this in person because we're all over the U.S.
That's why we should all get together at TrotCon.
And beyond for Sim.
Yeah.
It really
Okay.
depends on how I'm doing monetarily at that point. But back to a D&D for now.
All right. So can I follow? Should we follow the people going in with just to see what's going on?
Sure.
Yeah,
All right.
I thought that's what we were doing.
Sure,
Yeah,
let's go in.
Sure. Let's go. Yeah.
You know, I find it amusing how much you guys rely on Notion to start your
Yeah.
ideas. Like Argo has said next to nothing. Fair is almost
I mean,
as bad.
think about our group.
Ballistic
think about
doesn't
our
shut
group.
up about bombs, and the mink will only occasionally feed the fire that is Notion's curiosity.
Yeah, we're just lucky we don't have Rye here. Otherwise, we would never get anything done.
Yes,
Oh,
Anyway.
that's when the fire turns into a deadlock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Me and Rye are competitive leaders. It's like, who's doing this? I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
this,
so
kind of funny.
okay. As Quillian, I'm planning on not letting that happen ever again.
Oh boy, that's not good at all.
So all of a sudden, you have a crazy Neric running into the Leroy Jenkinsing into the group.
Yeah.
All right.
Did someone summon me?
Oh, that timing was perfect. Oh.
We might need the fire again soon. We'll see. No promises, but
I have fire. I
Whenever
have
you're
lots of
loud
fire.
like that, Fair, I can hear you.
yes. I
I'm
hear
talking normally.
All right. So let's
go in.
investigate.
Let's go in.
So you guys, nobody seems to really be paying any attention to you as you walk into the tent, and for the most part, it looks like they're setting up for a circus. None of y'all have ever worked in a circus, as far as I'm aware. Argo might have, and Fair might be aware of what needs to go in it, but for the rest of you, as far as you can tell, they are preparing for a circus act.
Can we look for people in charge?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
I mean, you do see the Abyssinian from earlier walking around.
Go talk to him.
Oh wait.
Half is something I
I
want
want
to
to go
do.
talk to him.
I
That's
have
my.
an idea, but I wanna see what you guys think of it first. So
Well, let's
if
let
it-
Fair say what he was going to say first.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm like, screw this noise. I'm walking back out of the tent and playing my harmonica. I'm gonna be like, yeah, guys,
hear any
I
of
can
that.
play a harmonica.
Yeah, he went outside to play harmonica, so he is
Yes.
outside playing harmonica.
You saved Ponyville with those skills one day. So here's my idea. So if I find a place to disguise myself as a cult member, anyone who is connected to the cult will recognize me, right? And they'll come to me. And if they have a problem with me being so out and open as a cult member, it'll be a dead giveaway. Like, what are you doing here? You know?
I feel like this is probably a ruse by the slavers to get the slaves that they're behind on.
Oh,
Probably, yeah.
okay.
You know, we have massive crowds attending. What's a few people that go missing?
Yeah,
It would-
who's gonna notice?
All right, we have to find the guy in charge then.
I want to
Uh,
talk to Bright Iron. Sorry, it's Iron. Right? Wants to go talk to that Abyssinian.
All right, let's do that.
Okay.
So,
I think that's a good idea.
are all of you just gonna like troop your way up there?
I'm planning on going up and helping with the investigation.
I mean, I'm
So,
kind of in the area.
I'm
but
just
I'm not-
jamming on my harmonica.
I'm trying to figure out how we can get the truth from him because, like, I'm not sure. I think the
The same
front of his
thing.
mind,
Not
if I
gonna
try to
be
use
easy.
detect thoughts, he'll be thinking about the strange weirdos that are talking to him and not the plans that he has. You know?
It's not. Also, how do we know this guy's in on it? How do we know who is in on it and not?
If we do, we did with Argo and have you stay at a distance and one or two people go up and talk to him and ask questions that might bring that to mind without being very obvious about it.
Agreed.
Such as, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this circus here before. Like, where are
What
you
kind of
from?
circus is this?
Got anything else going on here besides the acts?
So
Yeah,
who's the
I
one
don't
with
know.
the
That's really
who's the one
suspicious.
jamming out again?
It's not any more suspicious than just 6 people walking up to a guy and asking him what's going on.
What are you doing here?
Wait a
Who's
second.
the one?
So,
Wait,
say the guy in charge is, we could trick him into calling off the circus. Like, I'm gonna guess this guy's motivated by money, right? So we could, and
I'm
Wow,
going
we
to
gotta get enough money.
no. What I'm saying is, we say that his funding is cut off. Like,
Right,
oh,
I
the
hear
plan's
you.
been canceled. We don't need the slaves anymore. I heard it from the
Red Iron is just going to walk away from the group at this point who aren't moving and start to try and track down that Abyssinian.
Well,
to what now? The
he's not very hard to find. He's kind of standing in the middle, directing people.
Okay, but I don't know what to do. What do you think about that idea, though? Telling him
Bright Iron has walked off now to go talk to him.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think it's just
so-
happening.
Apparently, we are focusing on Bright Iron now. What does Bright Iron do?
Okay.
He's going up to talk to her. Says, "So I've never heard of your little orchestration, your little massive circus here. Like, I mean, what's it like running this whole thing? I mean, I see you're busy, but if I could bother you for a few questions."
it's really cool, by the way. I really like it.
So the Abyssinian turns around and bows and says, "Thank you for the compliments. We don't normally perform in Equestria. Most Equestrians aren't very accepting of not Equestrians. I'm sure you
I
understand.
know that.
Yes, if you're commonly asked, what kind of acts do you put on? Just like what can we be expecting to see later?
He winks and says, "Oh, a performer never gives away his tricks."
Okay, that's fair.
Aww.
I have a friend here that I thought might be has a few tricks of his own that he might great addition to your show.
He raises an eyebrow and says, "Oh."
A couple of friends. One is very interested in bombs. If you might, he can come out with a bang. If you
I
might,
just
be
hold out.
willing,
I just hold out one of the grenades I have.
if you
Just had like a bandolier of grenades.
you had the
He
right
actually does have 5
incentive.
grenades.
If you have the right incentive, I might be willing to let you take him off from us.
No.
The Abyssinian
No, you're not.
looks at Quillian for a moment and says, "I don't really have use for a demolitionist, though.
Alrighty, well then, how about this?
We
I have
already have a decent pyrotechnist."
okay, that's fair. I presume a show of your caliber would have necessity of such things, but do you have changeling?
We have 2. They run a concession stand.
You don't have any who perform?
No, they were terrible performers.
Wow.
Terrible performers. Don't you think that a skill such as theirs would be useful to your performance if they could the routine?
Okay, you cut out one of those words cuts out, and useful the
I think
routine.
he might have said fit. I think he might have said fit the routine.
Don't you think they would be helpful for you if they had a good routine?
I mean,
See, I have a friend here who is a changeling who can perform. He has some tricks.
Are you sure about that?
I'm good at performing. I'm a bard.
Okay, as long as you're talking
It's
about
true.
Argo, because I did not volunteer for that.
Oh no, he's talking about either of you. It doesn't matter.
I think he's talking about both of you.
so he shrugs and says, "I mean, most changelings, they are a one trick pony act.
Oh, you just made a mistake,
make-
dude.
They make impressions, and that's about it."
You just caused yourself a world of pain from one of these people.
Okay, let's see.
I mean, the crowd
What
can
do you-
only be so excited to watch someone change into someone they know already.
He's got a point. I don't know if we should try to become part of the circus, because that's a big commitment, and we kind of have bigger fish to fry, you know?
Yeah.
Just
so
start
you
frying
know,
fish.
So you know, the act of getting knowledge out of this and getting the how useful being part of the circus might be, that is only that's only part of Haldmeier's motivation right now. He's a little short on cash as well.
Wait, so can I try something? Can I try
Are
something?
you trying to sell your party members to the circus?
He really wants to sell the pyrotechnic. He doesn't like Quillian.
Hey!
He's trying to get him out of the group.
I don't blame you.
Okay,
for
can
that
I try
one,
something?
Oscar.
Wait, Nameless, can I try something with the guy?
I regret saying this, but go ahead.
Okay. So I walk up to the Abyssinian and I say, "So I see that you have a very well running circus here, and you know a lot about this. We were just wondering if we could have one of us in your performance because, well, we're trying to start our own circus and we don't have much experience. So if you could let us
I don't know.
intern here for a little while so we can learn some information about how you run things, then that'd be great because we just want to be some aspiring some inspiring festival runners.
I think our group has been a circus from the start.
I mean, we have quite a diverse group already, so I think we might have a chance. We just don't know how to
at this point,
run.
It's gonna be like, to be completely honest, if you just want to buy him and do whatever you want with it, I just need the cash. You can take him.
Okay, what have I even done?
Yeah,
that is true. He literally hasn't done anything wrong yet, besides talking about how he's Stephen's great.
Red Iron just doesn't like him.
He needs the money.
Yeah, Bright Iron is very broke.
Yes.
So the Abyssinian leans forward, it puts both hands on his cane, is leaning on it, and says, I'm afraid that I can neither help you with your monetary situation, nor will I allow you to learn the secrets of my acts. And with that, he lifts the cane and bangs it on the ground, and your entire group, including the people that didn't walk over there, are all outside.
All right. Awesome.
Okay,
that's suspicious.
I tried at least.
I'm gonna look to what's his face? Fallfire. Hey, Fallfire.
Crickets ensue.
Nothing.
Here we go again.
Oh, there he goes.
He's out of here.
He just left. Oh,
he's back.
Is he alive yet?
Uh,
He said something, but it wasn't a full word. This isn't helping.
Started talking. Fallfire, you're having a little bit of. Oh wait, no. I think his words out a little bit more. Just.
Fallfire, how'd you like to burn this place to the ground?
Fire, how would you like to cause a ruckus? Maybe a few games along the way?
Was that not suspicious, though? Like, why did he get rid of us?
Suspicious?
We were getting
Why
too
did they
close.
get rid of all
Don't be
of us? Yeah.
suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't
mean,
be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Think
Well,
of
we
it
already
from
killed
his
that.
point of view. A bunch
What'd
of
you say?
random people walked into his big top before it was ready for the audience, and then start bombarding him with questions, asking, and one of them basically just asked him, "Hey, pay me. I'll give you this guy that's really, really into explosives."
Yeah, I don't. This guy might just be your typical run-of-the-mill P.T. Barnum type. Oh,
For shine
okay.
reason.
So Bear can hear us.
Oh, you just like
Oh,
he's being
his ring lit up. That wasn't
door.
talking. That was a door.
Hear the door. That guy in
door,
there was
the
being
door.
mean to us. You want to go teach him? There's a lot of fabric in here. Just wooden fabric.
So I'm guessing that this guy is just following orders.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Okay, we're talking to a
Well,
robot.
I don't know exactly what was going on. I was just chilling outside the tent, playing my harmonica, and then poof.
Yeah, now we're here all of a sudden.
But I mean, I was kind of attracting a little bit of a crowd. But that's
You
kind
are
of
a robot.
annoying that I didn't get to finish.
Is this what
You-
you guys heard when you made that meme about he's speaking the language of the gods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The robot. Yeah. I remember that. That was funny.
How about now?
I
You're
can
Okay, yes, that's perfect. Don't mess with anything.
Shut up.
To figure out. We need to figure out who this Abyssinian guy, who his boss is, who told him to set up this circus in Equestria.
Ooh.
Maybe it's just a circus, and we're just crazy.
No.
Nah,
You're
we're not crazy.
Think about it. There's
Says the
nothing
one that
like
sounds the
a
most insane all the time.
What do you mean? Okay, I've been better as Quillian than.
Who you calling insane?
Yeah, he is better now. This guy, he is a lot more level-headed.
To be fair, Sawtooth never mentioned the extra voices during the detect thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All I know is that all the voices did not.
I
like
want to point out that I
Christmas
was
list.
talking about ballistic with this one.
Omen.
But
Yeah. That
back
news.
back to your planning. What are you going to do? What do?
$800.
Are we all the way outside of the circus?
No, you're just outside the big top. He wasn't trying to get rid of customers.
Can I go back in as a different
I was
customer and
already
inquire
outside.
about what brought this on? Like, I wanna ask him, like, who's the boss? Who told you to do this strange out of the blue circus all the way in Equestria all of a sudden? There's got to be a reason. What is this? What's this about? Like, oh wait, maybe
That'd
ponies
be
are needed for the sacrifice or something.
No, so, Sawtooth, if you were to go in there and do that, you'll most certainly be captured just because they think you know what's going on.
We also just mentioned Changeling, so I'm sure he's on the lookout for that also.
That is true. That is true. The changeling cover is blown. Shoot. Okay, I just want to walk up to him and say, "Hey, what do you need
Any
all those
grapes?
slaves?"
Hey, what's up? Vsauce here.
So was there any, when we were in the big top, was there any kind of like backstage type area?
Who are you asking this? Well, you didn't really look around too much. You saw people moving things around, getting ready for the show, and then you bombarded the Abyssinian with questions, and he kicked you out.
Yep, that's it.
Hey, do you changeling folks want to be cockroaches?
Wow, that seems really insensitive to other changelings. I mean, absolutely.
I'm
All right.
going.
I say we should go in and just sort of like move along the walls into the and just investigate, see what we can see in there.
Probably
Just like
a shape
fly on the
shift
wall.
out in the middle of public. Wink, wink.
I think it'll be easily forgettable in this type of crowd. It'll happen. People will be like, "Oh, what was that?" And they'll forget. I think it's fine if we shapeshift here.
Let me help you find somewhere else. Wink, wink.
Such as?
I'm saying I am going to lead the two changelings away somewhere secluded to.
Oh, okay.
Wow, how thoughtful.
Let's walk over in this direction, but none of you folks go except for me and these fellows. Let's go.
Yeah, we don't want to be too distracting.
Yeah, why? Why can't we follow?
Because
I
a
agree.
large group wouldn't be any less distracting.
What do you mean a large group? There's people all over the place.
Can I charm him? He can shut up.
You can try.
I'm gonna use my hypnotic gaze, not an actual charm, just hypnotic gaze to stun him for a second.
It's a cool button.
If you keep questioning us, I'll have to eat your love.
Is that GAZE or GAYS? Hypnotic gaze.
GAZE.
Okay.
Pretty sure you were making a gay joke there. Was that?
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Helpful clarification. Just making sure.
So, you gonna try this on me or what?
Yeah.
I'm finding what you have to roll.
Hey, do you want
Yeah,
some
what do I
bardic
have to roll
inspiration
for?
for this?
You know what? Bardic inspiration would be a godsend.
All right, I'm just gonna give you. Or this is to charm, not to avoid charming.
Yeah. So no, I'm basically just gonna
I
give
don't
him a
think
flash.
you can give bardic inspiration for a spell like that.
Oh,
because he has to.
Okay, make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes, that is why.
Yeah, I'm basically, my eyes flash for a second. I lock eyes with him for a second, and he goes like, "Oh, okay.
Do the roll on roll
Why don't
20.
you guys do that?"
Roll in the roll
I
20.
gotta open up the roll 20 because I'm trying not to use Wi-Fi too much.
Do I also have to make this save, or is this only
Need a roll
for
for you.
fair?
Are you trying to follow them as well?
I mean, I was wondering what was going on and why they're going off.
I'm not
Yeah,
really
same.
trying to follow them.
Follow
I'm
them?
just like, what's up? Where you going?
Or would you like me to
literally
roll?
what we were doing?
Well, roll your wisdom saving throw.
Or would you like me
Wait,
Oh man.
Okay.
Okay.
what?
I'm pretty
Wow.
sure
Now
that
there are several
beats.
questions.
So,
Yeah, that definitely beats his save, his spell DC.
pretty well. It would just be a wisdom save. It doesn't need to be beat my DC.
You would have to, yeah, because it's against.
Yeah, that's
your
the way the
spell.
spell works. He has to beat your DC in order for the spell not to work. If he fails and his roll is lower than your DC, then your spell works.
Okay.
By the way, when we go to do the thing, should we like use non-detection so that they can't just use divination magic stuff to find us?
That hasn't been a problem in the
I also
past.
want to point out that Argo, you have not fed for several days, so anything you do is going to have a fairly hefty penalty. Because what was it? At least 7 days.
It's one. It's one for every day, right?
Yes.
I
It's
could
minus-
have just like,
Yeah, then it's a -7. Yeesh.
hey, who wants to volunteer and let me have a little bit of a snack?
I'll do it. I'll let Quillian be the one because he isn't really doing anything.
We'll say you're feeding off of his love of bombs.
I hate to say this, but we
Okay.
also take this.
No, wait. Does this come at a cost for?
Oh yeah,
Blake?
he's taking damage.
Yeah, d6. Alright, take 3 damage.
Oh my gosh.
Actually,
Thank
it's per level. So
Oh.
Okay, roll 6 more d6s.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, we just lost Desert Reed. I don't want
You
to.
just
I
kinda
have
killed the
feeling.
Pegasus immediately.
No,
I have
okay, so-
feeling.
Okay, so the worst she can do is. Oh my gosh! What the?
So you take
25
25
damage.
points of psychic damage.
Hang on, hold on. How
Okay,
much is your?
That's
Hold
over
on, how
half
much
my
is your
health.
max?
That's over half my
no.
health.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh
Wait, what?
Hey,
no! Oh no!
You may pass out, but you will survive.
Oh, no.
Okay, so
Hey,
let's roll.
should I give him some
Roll on
healing
roll
word?
20.
That would be a good
Is it-
idea.
So is it plus my Constitution modifier? Do I add that?
Yes.
Okay.
Argo, if it's a matter of aesthetics, you can become a reformed changeling, but keep the form of your unreformed self, right?
I believe that's a pass. Yes. So you're good.
Oh, thank goodness.
I mean, I've been kind of hiding under a rock for like the past couple years. Like, even knowing you guys exist is still new.
We need to teach her the magic of friendship.
I have friends.
Friendship is forever. The 3rd episode just came out today, so.
So
How would you know that in
I'm-
character?
So
The next chapter of the friendship journal.
So you guys all watch as Argo takes a snack on Ballistic there.
I'm just kind of watching concernedly.
not weird to anyone.
Well, that was interesting. Maybe next time you go for someone that's a little beefier.
Hey, I'm an assassin. Just
It is
so you
all.
know.
Thicker?
Everybody can tell that he took a lot of damage when that happened.
He's kind of charred.
I used to have a forest buddy. Now I have a feeding buddy.
Well, it's more. He looks more drained. Sort of like the energy has been sapped out of him, and kind of starting to get that like almost emaciated kind of look.
Huh.
Hey,
Just starting though, not
actually.
actual starvation.
Why the long face? You seemed a bit drained out.
Okay, I'm letting you feed off of me, so don't try and push it.
I
I'm
apologize.
a bit snappy right now. Okay.
All right, so let's go and investigate, right? Let's go around the corner and transform. Does that sound good?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we're
Hey,
gonna do.
hang on. What happened with the whole me asking them where they're going?
Yeah,
We're
what happened
going.
there?
Well, at this point, you can do whatever you want.
We give a mysterious "you'll see," and we just sort of disappear.
Well,
That's not
because
suspicious at all.
whatever Mink did,
Failed.
failed.
Yeah, Nick failed.
Because he looks at me really menacingly, and I'm like,
Just
what are you doing?
It's like
He's just staring at me. Menacingly.
You got an intense stare, like that smolder stare. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jumanji.
It's like, what?
A smoldering intensity.
Like,
Oh.
is this some kind of staring contest or something?
staring contest where you don't get to move. Stay right here, okay? The rest of the
Yeah, no.
okay. The three of us are going off now. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye now.
I'm coming with.
Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna follow just in case something bad
Oh my
comes.
gosh. Hey,
Mostly because I'm just thinking, well, they're going to do something. I might as well be there to make sure they're doing
Hey.
okay.
Changeling Squad, let's just run, and before they even have the chance to follow, switch into our cockroach forms. What do you think? Let's
Okay,
try it.
What is your speed?
I
my
think my speed is much higher than yours, so try it, I dare you.
You're not gonna
Try it.
Hey, should I just use illusion magic to make it look like you're going somewhere else? Because I can do that.
actually, yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Because I'm also gonna try and follow because I have no idea where you guys are going either, and I don't know about Haldemeyer yet either.
So let's do that. We'll use Argo's illusion magic to make them think we went the other way, and then continue on with
I'm
our.
going to point out that the illusion magic will make copies of you walk in different directions. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to turn invisible.
Well, we'll just have to round a corner. Shouldn't be hard.
Can
Shouldn't
I roll
be hard, he
perception?
says.
Actually,
Can we all roll perception?
I believe illusions do have a saving throw.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I just want to get in there and try to figure out what's going on, man.
Trying to do it so that you can't. So that don't figure out about Hallmeyer.
Yeah.
That's the important
Like
thing.
if I'm
I don't figure it out.
if I'm the only one who notices and goes after you, then I will protect Haldemeyer with my life. And if I don't find out, then okay.
Overcome with a sudden. Nobody should know about him.
Yeah, my biggest thing that I need to point out though is Yoshi is also coming with y'all.
Yeah, I'm coming. And I have high speed and low wisdom, so hope that I fail.
All right, ready for this? Archon.
Y'all ready
What's
for
that
this?
over there?
I need to roll a wisdom for this, right?
I will say yes. Roll a wisdom save or wisdom.
Oh my
I just turned.
I was just gonna put that at a 10. You somehow managed to fail that.
I just turned around.
He's becoming dumber and dumber. I feel like he's never gonna find out. He's just every time we think he's gonna find. Every time we think we make it too easy for him, he just somehow makes it.
So I'm going to say from here on out, because we have historically continued to fail at this, you get a -1 to anything regarding secret identities of Haldmeyer.
Just automatic -1.
So, does our plan work?
Well,
I mean,
does
he's
it work on the
distracted
other
at the
guys?
moment.
You still haven't done anything about me following you, so
I mean, I want to try and.
You have successfully distracted the one party member that you wanted to distract.
What about the other two? Can they roll for it too? Like, just like, what's over there? What's that?
Well,
Just
I'm
tricking the
going.
book.
I'm going to assume that they saw Notion do it to him, and on top of that, Notion didn't do it to them. He specifically did it to Yoshi. So
True.
it's not going to work on them.
Okay. Why do
We
you guys
just go like,
follow me everywhere?
No, then I'm going to shapeshift and be just like put a hoof up like shh the other two. So that
And I
means-
just
I'm
nod.
still,
I
like,
just
looking
nod.
the other way.
No, I just nod in understanding.
Meanwhile, I'm still like, where'd they go? What's going on?
Fire.
Guys, I don't see anything.
Okay, so to block, just to keep Argo's identity secret, I spread my
everybody
giant
know-
wing.
Wasn't she? Yeah, she showed up.
Oh,
she's
duh.
been-
He walks around as a changeling.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, she's a
Snake
sparkly
100.
uniformed changeling.
I'm so stupid. Okay, so is that what we're doing? We're just letting Ballfire know.
Important one is Yoshi.
Eyebrows, like,
Yeah, I'm thoroughly confused.
and just kind of shrugs it off as nothing.
Somehow Yoshi has gone this entire time without ever getting a good wisdom saving throw against.
Really?
All right, so let's go in the tent and actually explore and examine what we can see in there.
Okay.
Cockroaches.
And what are the other
No.
three doing?
I assume the changelings are gonna follow me.
No, the other three.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There are 6 of you.
Yeah.
You know what? At this point, I'm like, I'm at a circus. I'm gonna go have some fun.
Okay.
Bye.
That's valid.
So before we do the big top part, we're gonna do the circus part with Fair and whoever's going with him.
All
Okay,
right.
I'm going to the bathroom then.
Bye. Have a good time.
Bye.
I disappear momentarily.
So, Ballistic and Yoshi, what are you two doing?
I mean,
I'm gonna go with them
With
if I
who?
can. Never mind. I'm actually just gonna walk around the circus looking at stuff.
So you're going with Fair and doing
Yeah.
circus things. Yoshi?
Yeah.
I mean, by now would I have turned around or what's going on? Would I still be?
You
Because
were,
I mean,
you
if I'm
were-
turning around by now and I see
The
Ballistic
changelings
going
are
on,
gone.
I'm gonna go with them.
The
I
changelings
mean, if
are gone.
I'm gonna. All right, then I'm probably gonna follow Ballistic.
Okay. So you guys go out, and there's quite a few games, different attractions. Some of the games include there's a dart game, the one with the balloons. There's a variety of other different things. What have you guys seen that? Like you climb the rope ladder, you try to get the thing at the end.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those stupid carnival games that you can only win once a month.
And there's also the
It's a
whole
lifetime.
hammer and the bell strength.
Oh, get me over there.
Yeah, Yoshi, you might not be good at figuring out identities, but you're good at hitting stuff, and that's
I'm
all
good
that
at
matters.
Literally figuring out anything else
Yeah.
ever. I don't think I've rolled badly on any other wisdom save.
It's only against the mink is your weakness.
Literally against
Wait,
the
it's
every
like
time.
it's like Yoshi. It's like your character knows, but he's just like, I don't want to find out. I have a suspicion, but I just don't
It's
want to
gonna
know.
be when I die. I'm just like gonna call Hallmeyer over. I'm just gonna be like, I know, and I die. I knew it was you, Dad.
So
Wait, so
What-
I'm gonna go over to the hammer guy trap
Okay.
there. The
I
hammer's-
am totally going over there to swing a hammer.
okay,
Alright.
and ballistic.
I'm gonna look for a knife throwing game,
Well, you have
or
the
just a
ballistic
throwing,
game.
like a
The
throwing game, like a
balloons.
throwing game, a throwing
the
game.
balloons.
I literally
Don't
just
throw
mentioned.
grenades.
So
He
we'll
throws
start
a
with
grenade
the,
and
blows
we'll
all the
start with
balloons
strength
up.
game.
Huh?
So we're going with Yoshi first since he went over there first. Yoshi, you were
Alright,
handed
what's my strength?
a ridiculously poorly made like wooden hammer. Like it's nothing like what you carry around, and it's
I'm gonna just
two-handed
scowl
hammer.
at it irritably.
It's a Minotaur that hands it to you. He explains the rules of the game, and you know how it works, though, so you can go ahead
Yeah.
and roll strength.
Great. This is an athletics check, right?
Roll strength.
25.
Okay, so you swing that hammer overhead in a mighty arc, and the little ringer thing hits the bell with a resounding ding. He pats you on the back and hands you a fancily stitched saddlebag.
That's it.
Thank you. I say thank you, but make a better hammer next time. I say thank you, but that hammer is horrible, and I walk away.
The Minotaur shrugs as you walk away and gestures fall fire up.
Yeah, I think Archon would definitely be snobbish about hammers. Hey, nice one.
So you basically get the same ding, mighty swing and the ding, and he hands you a. This time it's a fancily knitted scarf. It's got all kinds of different patterns on it.
I gotta ask, is there anything special about this bag? Can I take a look at the bag?
So when you look at the bag, it's got a smiley face on it.
That's the special part.
So
Lol.
after you open that bag, you reach in and you realize you can't feel the bottom of the bag.
I knew
Oh,
it. I knew it.
that's really helpful.
I need a bag.
Imagine
Awesome,
your
good.
imagine your hoof just isn't like long enough, and you just are. It's like it's too short just to reach.
He's got claws.
Perfect.
It's a bag of holding.
Yes. Done.
just-
All right, great. So I'm gonna dump all the stuff that I was carrying with me in a different bag into the bag of holding.
Okay. So,
I'd actually like to try again, except this time I'm upset that I didn't break it and I'm on fire.
Are you actually on fire, or
Oh Lord.
feel free.
Let's go in berserk mode.
This ought to be good. He
What
rolls
would
a
you
one.
say?
You gotta roll.
Okay. Stupid notifications, get out of the way of me typing.
Yeah.
So
Roll
you
again.
hit
I
it.
think you're don't you? Hold
You
on.
burst into flames and hit it again, and it only gets about halfway up.
That only makes me more angry.
Hang on a second.
And
Wait a minute. I need to.
how
check
long
something.
is he gonna do this for? My God!
Hang on a second. He has advantage on strength checks. He gets another roll because he's raging right now.
Ooh, yeah. That's right.
So roll again.
You get to keep the higher of the two.
Yes.
15 or
Which one are you gonna take?
I have to take the higher one.
Yeah, he has to take the 15.
Oh, I was kind of hoping you could take the smaller one just to see what would happen.
He takes the 9.
So, like I said, you only get about halfway up.
I just kind of gingerly pat Fallfire on the back and back away slowly.
Just because it's like, oh, geez, I know what he's about to do.
He's like snorting
It's
flames.
just
And...
take it easy. Take it easy.
It's fine, Fallfire. It's just a game.
All you see is this Kieran that's breathing extremely heavily with bright flaming eyes.
I'm on fire.
And he takes one more giant swing, bringing the hammers back as far as he possibly can.
I hope it's a small roll just because, like...
It rolls a
Were you
nat
about to
one.
attempt to use reckless attack? I think it was, or you have some sort of class feature like that.
Yes.
Hold on.
So this time
reckless
you'll be
attack,
rolling to attack.
Advantage. You have advantage on this also.
If you're rolling to attack, then roll to attack.
The silence before the...
The silence before the storm.
Hey, there we go. I love
It's
how
not
you
a nat 20,
outrolled
though.
me. I love how you outrolled me by one, and I still beat you on the total.
You still have advantage though, so
Yeah, that's true. Roll again. Come on, baby.
It's just not
Reversed it.
This is getting.
you hit the bell again, but you didn't break anything.
Wait, strength checks, I get a +8.
Yeah, but this was an attack.
But
Yeah, the first ones would have been +8, but you put a +5, so they were only a +5. The second ones were attacks.
so...
I'm debating whether or not I'm gonna go again because I mean I did just diss this guy's hammer.
Are you about to try and use your hammer on it?
No, what I'm like is I see his hammer, and I throw the wimpy hammer aside. And I'm like, give me your hammer.
Oh my!
Say, are you serious?
I am very serious as his eyes grow a little brighter in fire.
So I sigh and I just hand him the hammer. I say, if you break this, you buy me a new one.
If I break this, I will be upset. More.
More upset. This Minotaur has to be very concerned at this point. There's just a giant, flaming, angry guy with a hammer.
Yeah, the Minotaur is giving you both this look like, I really want to get you out of here, but this dude's on fire and he has an actual hammer.
I kind of shrug at him and I just...
While 3 of us are just risking our lives, potentially, 2 of us are just, like, trying to destroy a bell.
Yeah, what are you doing, by the way? Alright, this is another attack, or is it a strength check?
Are you attacking this time, or are you trying... What are you doing?
I am attacking this one.
Oh gosh, he's doing an attack?
So, roll to attack.
Ah, geez, I don't feel like this will end well.
You have advantage.
Don't forget, it is your strength plus your proficiency.
So,
Yes.
if you break this, then it's likely that this Minotaur will not like you.
And don't forget you have advantage.
Yeah.
I'm channeling the inner dice gods.
So you rolled a 15. A 25. There you go. You just matched me.
Nice.
It's a better
Attaboy.
Okay. So you swing with this mighty blow, and it does break the paddle because it was not meant to be used with actual hammers.
So
But you don't break the bell.
So I kind of face palm.
At this point, the Minotaur politely tells you that the game is now closed and you need to move along. Now, on to Ballistic. Ballistic,
I'm taking my hammer back, by the way.
you get to the
fine. Take your hammer.
you get to the dart game, and there's a Kieran running this one. And
Ooh.
he levitates a series of 3 darts to you and tells you to you can attempt to throw the darts to hit the balloons, and if you can hit all 3 of them or hit the one really small one, you can win a prize.
Oh man. Fair.
Before throwing, I talk to him and say, "Hey, you're Kieran. I am friends with 2 Kieran. Do you know them? One of them is named Ballfire,
don't know
and
one
another
of
one
them.
likes peanut." So
You
I
don't.
think in the meanwhile, you don't
only
know
know
the other
one.
one. You don't know Darth.
Oh, right, never mind. I know Cool Kieran. His name is Fallfire. Do you know him? He's really cool, but sometimes he can be a bit reckless. He's over there playing the hammer game. Do you see him? Huh?
Man, I just would like to inform you that just for fun, I rolled if I would have done that again. I rolled a nat 20.
Wow.
Imagine it just break the freaking ground. Notion, it's like the freaking Megaton Punch minigame from Kirby. Just shatter the earth.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that.
I'm really glad I did not do it again.
Kieran shrugs and says, "Just because you know him doesn't mean I know him."
But don't all the Kiorans live in one village together? I mean, I think so. I mean, I did read that a book once about Kieran, and it said that they all lived in this one valley together. But that must have been hard to know. But that must have been hard to know his name, since you couldn't say each other's names a lot, since you were silent. Huh? I mean, yeah, with the river of silence there, that would be hard to say each other's names.
He leans over and says 2 things.
You wouldn't know anything about silence, would you?
He said, "First off, you read an equestrian book. Second off, are you here to play the game, or are you here to run your mouth?"
Both.
Then play the game, and let's forget about the running mouth.
Okay.
So, if you're going to do that, you're going to roll an attack roll, which will be your dexterity plus your... well, actually, you don't have proficiency in darts. I just looked that up. So, just your dexterity to attack.
Okay, so D20 plus my dexterity dexterity. Finesse can be strength or dexterity, but hang on.
He's a rogue.
Yeah, true.
During this time, after getting shooed away from the other game, I see Ballistic.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, I'll go over there and see what's up with
the
that.
little one or the big ones?
Big ones.
Okay, so you managed to hit one of the big ones. You have 2 darts remaining.
Okay, so I roll 2 more times?
Yes.
Okay. There's 3, actually. That's exactly right.
We're not going to question how a Pegasus is throwing darts at the moment, though.
Yes. Also, Pegasus threw the dart.
With his wings.
With the wings, yeah.
Oof.
You have
fingers.
missed. You have missed.
Dang it, so I can't win the prize.
Nope.
Okay, I want to try again.
Well, you do
still
still
have
have
a
one
dart.
dart. So you can go ahead
Just
and
throw a
try it.
grenade and blow the whole thing up.
Huh?
Don't actually do that. Just throw the dart.
Okay. Can I try and aim this one at the little one?
Yes.
Seeing as there's a Kieran running the stand, I doubt it would be a good idea to mess this one up.
Yeah.
Hey, that's 20.
You have
Nice.
hit the little balloon, and the little balloon explodes in a puff of confetti.
Ooh, I like that.
Somebody play the confetti noise.
What's that?
Oh,
the Pinkie Pie
play the
confetti
party
noise.
cannon sound effect.
So he goes rooting around behind the counter and pulls out a small box. He opens the box and hands you a necklace.
Nice.
And he says, "Here you go. Here's your prize. Now get out of here."
I inspect it.
I think
It
so.
is a silver necklace, and at the end is what appears to be
There
some
it is.
sort of claw.
Oh, so before going, I say this. Oh, wow, thanks a lot, buddy. I really appreciate it. Wow, this was such a cool game. I can't believe I won. Man, I
Like,
thought I was going to
dragging him
lose for
off
a second
by,
there.
like, I'm dragging
And,
him off
bye,
by the tail.
bye, this is my dear friend. Hey, Fallfire, do you know this, Kieran? Because he says he doesn't know you, but I think you might know him, don't you? Huh?
Just because we live in the same village doesn't mean we know everyone.
We're
Wow,
literally
he
just
said the exact same thing. I
At
think
this point-
you might know each other. Either that or you both are on the same brain.
I think at this point, me and Fair are both dragging him off by, like, his tail. Just drag him into the crowd.
Oh, bye.
I am getting very
Don't
much
let him
Pinkie Pie vibes right now. Holy crap!
Oh, bye. I really
Yeah,
like
same here.
talking. Oh, bye. I really like talking to you. I hope to see you again. Bye. Oh, can I have your phone number so we can talk one sometime?
Phone number?
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
What
Okay,
can of
bye,
worms
new
did
best
you just
friend.
open?
I'm seriously considering the ramifications of just taking you down right now with my hammer.
I was
mean,
thinking about
there-
hitting him
there-
with my stick.
There
I was
is
honestly thinking about
non-lethal
it.
damage.
Oh yeah, I'm
No.
not
I've
quite
already
there
done
yet.
it once to his other guy.
Oh, and
I
right
did it
before I'm
twice.
okay, and right before I'm out of earshot, I yell, "Oh, and by the way, do you have any bombs you could sell?"
No.
We just see the cure.
Maybe don't say anything about bombs in a public setting like this.
Whenever he has a chance, I'm not gonna lie. Oldmeyer is going to, when he has money and a way to carry it, he is going to purchase muzzle just to put on, to shut him up when he goes berserk like that. Legit,
You know-
just going to slam a muzzle on his face.
Some
Well, I
of
did say
Desert
that he's
Reed's
different
last
from
words.
Reed.
Hit him across the head with a stick.
Some of Desert Reed's last words were prevented because there was rubber ducky in his mouth.
Oh yeah, I
Still
forgot
have the rubber
about
ducky?
that.
Oh, the dagger.
Oh yeah. Did you guys
Oh yeah, I
pick
forgot
up
to say,
the
did
magical dagger?
one of y'all end up picking up the magic dagger from him? I'm leaving it up to y'all to decide.
No, Holdmeyer would have wanted it, especially since he has no weapon now.
Sure.
Okay,
I'm fine with that.
so Haldmeyer has the dagger.
Sweet. Okay, I need to enter this in.
Oh, so I meant to ask earlier, but hey, Haldmeyer, I see that you have my friend's dagger. I was wondering if I could have it since it was his.
He doesn't-
I
he
think
doesn't
want me to have
know.
it.
Didn't know about that dagger. He got
Yeah.
it.
He got it from a card from a deck of many, so he wouldn't have known. So
Well,
it's
they've been
But
keeping
Reed
in
wrote
touch
me
through
about
their
all his
phones.
adventures. He sent me letters.
yeah, we're not gonna go with that.
Aw.
Worth a try.
Yeah, but that's a little too metagamey. So
I think he just discovered one of the little known dice of D&D. The 1DM.
yep,
The one do what?
the 1DM.
What does it even mean?
And I'm the DM and I say so.
Oh. Okay.
It is a dagger, correct?
Yes.
What's its modifier?
Uh,
Oh, right. It was like the fire and ice thing, right? Like,
yeah, it had the cold fire. It was 2d6 with the 2d4 of cold fire.
Cold fire. This is the first I've heard of cold fire. It intrigues me.
Yeah, it's cold when when the dagger is lit with some sort of fire source, or it burns so cold that it actually still burns, but it's
Wow.
not heat.
I'm a fire source.
Yes, they could technically use you to light the dagger.
Cool.
Of course, you weren't here yesterday. Last session.
Hey, Nameless.
What's
I'm
up?
gonna have to leave in about an hour, so like sometime between 11:20 and 11:30.
Okay.
It's almost 9:30 here, and
Oh,
Well-
sorry. For you that would be
10.
sometime between 10:20
I'm
and
back.
10:30.
So you guys want to just call it a night for now and pick it up later, so that way.
Well, I can still
Okay,
go
what
for
the heck
a
just
bit longer,
happened?
but whatever works best. I still have another hour, but whatever works.
Hold on. I'm confused. What happened while I was trying to fix my internet?
So Notion's got to leave here in a little
too
bit.
long.
It's about an hour, and I was asking if people want to continue or if we want to.
It's at 60% right now, so
I'm sure we
There
can
your
still get stuff
microphone
done
is
in an
on.
hour.
Yeah, I'm in the
I
keep
know
going.
it isn't.
Hey,
So, unless it does normal bigger damage, and then when lit on fire, it does the extra.
Yes.
I'm still confused as to what happened in the game while I was gone because things have happened apparently.
Oh, I talked a lot.
Yep.
So it's
I remember
1d
that, and then my internet died.
1d4 plus 2d4 when.
It's 2d6 normally, and then an extra 2d4 for the fire.
2d6.
Yes.
All right.
I think this would be a good spot for at least me. I don't know about anybody else. This is a good spot for me to hop off.
Oh, so
Yeah, we might
Like
as well just. There's.
we'd pick up in the cockroach zone, I guess.
Yeah, we'll pick up with you guys doing that.
Okay.
I'm
So
fine.
Wins the next time.
I guess my name was a little
can-
early.
So I don't know my schedule coming up next week, so if you guys tomorrow want to do like a shorter session like earlier in the day, I'm fine with that. Just to pick
Yeah.
up with that. But other than that, it'll be whenever I figure out what my next day's working are.
Depends on how
'cause I
earlier.
don't-
And
Yeah,
Nothing
it depends
before
on
noon.
how early I need tomorrow.
I kind of have classes
It
tomorrow.
depends on when I
Okay,
work.
so people are busy tomorrow. Then we'll just wait until next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And
This was a fun
It
session.
was a fun session.
It was, yeah. I gotta